nice run rule victory in game one, 11-1. Landry Jerica got the win. He was magnificent, 69 pitches, 53 for strikes, scattered 2 hits, unearned run, and 9 strikeouts. So Jerica was great for the Bulldogs, as usual, in the opener. And now game 2 of this twin bill, and a huge opportunity for Greenwood really to, for the moment, take over second place in the standings. I say that. Russellville can sweep wherever they are, and I guess would still have the tiebreaker on Greenwood at second place.
Siloam Springs, and they should, but you never know.
We'll check in with see if I can get a hold of Graham Thomas and see if he's got any updates for us from Siloam Springs.
But you know, it was a tale of two dugouts. I really pay close attention to body language and how you carry yourself, and Greenwood had a bunch of bouncy guys over there high-fiving and playing around, and they were loose. Where you look over down at Mountain Home, and they stayed in small groups. A lot of people stayed in the dugout. They didn't really do a lot, and it's like the defeat bothered them, but it may very well carry over into this next game. And we talked about how Greenwood with pitching, they lost Oaf. Oaf had some arm problems, and he was really becoming your number 2. Him and Reed Carroll were like 2 and 2A, and you've lost him. So now I'm guessing Reed will be on the mound, and then that'll put Harrison Adams at second base. And Reed's that guy that when things are going well, he's unhittable because he's upper 80s velocity, and we saw how Mountain Home struggled with Jerica. So I like our chances. I like the fact that we're up. We run ruled, and now let's go to work.
The coaches are at the home plate, exchanging lineups with the officiating crew. Paul Cates back behind the dish here in game 2. So always like to see his antics back behind the dish.
I even explained to him where he misses that call on the outside. I told him he stays too far to the left, and he needs to move over a little bit so he can see. He said he would work on that.
Oh, thank you. Greenwood Bulldogs line up, and then Reed Carroll will be on the bump for the Bulldogs. No other changes kind of jump out at you that you see, Keith?
Harrison Adams will be at second. We knew usually when Reed's pitching or not in the game, Harrison's at second base, and so he'll be at second base. Aiden's still at first. Hunter's still at third. Outfield's still the same. You got the guys running out there, Brown, Brewer, and Oaf. So, like I said, you go with what works. Doesn't matter how you did. You ended up run rolling. So bring them back out there. Let's see what they can do. And Reed Carroll, he's giving Reed the ball. And, again, cold weather. I hope him and Strozier decide to pitch these guys inside, because the first couple of guys that go into the dugout with tears in their eyes because they hit one off the handle at about 87, they won't want to get back in there and get so close to the base. And then the rest of the game, you control the outer half of the plate.
Thank you, Brother Ronnie. No Jerica a little bit kind of stuns me a bit, at least in the batting lineup, huh?
Well, Coach has made the decision that he gives you a win on the mound, and he's been fighting some back problems, and he tweaked it the other day hitting, and it scared Coach enough to just say, look, you're done hitting. You're not going to hit. You're going to be our pitcher.
That's fine. Good.
You're going to K-State to be a pitcher. Let's put you on the mound. Let's get our win out of you. I agree. He's one of the better hitters, but you cannot risk it if he's having ongoing, lingering back problems because of his hitting. You can't risk it, in my opinion.
Well, and really his third base his defense is stellar, is more than enough than hitting for me. But, again, I guess you want to limit what you can from him. It looks like, well, we had a whole lot of people run to home plate over in the softball diamond. I thought maybe we may have had a home run over there. I just like watching the antics over there, as all the Lady Bulldog dugout came out to greet someone at the dish. That generally means a home run.
Well, you got to like it when the wind is blowing across here, going across to the right field foul pole. That means it's blowing out at left on softball, and Greenwood's got enough girls to hit it to the parking lot out there in left field and left center.
Looks like the last update that my man Graham Thomas saw was Russell was up 10-2 on Siloam. He's not at the game. That's one he saw. So Russellville should be a winner in that first game, so they'll move to 7-4 in the standings, as Greenwood has. Like I said, Greenbrier's idle. Mountain Home's going to drop to 6-5, so they're down into 5th place as of right now.
You know, we talk about investments and gambling and stuff. Well, high school baseball schedule is along those lines as well. It did not bode us well that we played the top teams in the conference right out the gate.
Right.
Before we found our stride, before we found out our offensive lineup. It's kind of like we're going backwards. We went through the tough part of the schedule at the first part of the season. Now we're going through the back end of the schedule, and we're playing our best baseball. So I'd really like to see what we could do, and I hope we get a good seed in postseason, because I think Greenwood's primed to make a run.
And the Bombers will lead it off here in the top of the first. Reed Carroll to work, and his first one is just outside for ball one to Will Beckham. He's their right fielder, left-handed bat.
What will Beckham do?
I think he'll ground out to Hunter Houston up on the grass at third. Kind of squared the bunt for a minute, then pull back 2-0.
Odd for Mountain Home to show bunt.
It's amazing.
Facetiously speaking.
Yeah, they've showed a ton of small ball in game one. Here's Carroll, bring the 2-0 home. That one's in there, fouled out of play back towards the football field. Smith Robinson Stadium, 2-1.
And if you thought Dorica worked fast, you haven't seen Reed yet. He gets the ball and he goes. His delivery's quick, his motion to the plate's quick, and he definitely has arm speed and brings it in quick.
Hunter Houston up on the grass at third, just in case. Here's the 2-1. That's high, 3-1. Bryce Morgan's at short, Harrison Adams at second base, and Aiden Kennan's at first base. Chance Oaf out in right, Caden Brown's in center, and Luke Brewer is in left. Dylan Strozier, the battery mate for Reed Carroll. The 3-1 home is back to the backstop, and luckily Beckham took his time getting out of there, hustling out of the box on a walk. And
well, he's got to take off his wrist guard, his elbow guard,
true.
His shin guard, his foot guard, and he's got to get out his base-stealing new hand protector mitt that they have to protect his hands.
Boy, did we talk about Jackie Robinson Day just went past us here. He's rolling over in his grave with all the antics. This guy was no batting gloves, no helmet, sliding around. Here's Reed Ellison.
And those guys with no batting gloves have to be your best batters. To me, those guys, I can never understand those guys. I could just get up there and get pine tar over the hands. We seen bunt for a hit as it rolls foul to the right side.
Strike one to Reed Ellison.
Bunt for hit, he drag bunts.
Right.
He shows it late. The difference between a drag bunt and a sack bunt for the non-baseball connoisseurs is sacrifice, you show it early, and your corners have plenty of time to make the throw. You drag bunt, you show bunt as late as possible so they get a late jump, and if it's down the line, it's usually a hit.
0-1 the count to Reed Ellison. And there's a bunt attempt that couldn't get down, 0-2. It's fouled back to the screen.
The window.
I just wonder if you wanted to raise it. We'll get a little ambiance.
Yes.
Strozier's going to go out and talk to Reed Carroll, get everybody on the same page. The leadoff walk. And now Reed Ellison's in an 0-2 hole. $11-1 run rule victory for Greenwood in game one. I think they go to 13-7 now overall, 14-7. 7-4 in conference. That's outside. 1-2. Right-handed batting shortstop for the Bombers.
Matty Cartwright hit a 3-run homer. That's what we saw a while ago.
Nice. 43 degrees here in the nightcap. They throw over, and Beckham's in safely. Wind still blowing 13 miles an hour out of the north-northwest. Cartwright, a super sophomore of the franchise. Fantastic athlete. Here's the 1-2. Right back up the box, double play ball. Morgan, nice on a little squirrely hop. Steps on second, over to first. Double play.
Taylor made right up the middle. He's basically standing on the bag as the ball hopped into his glove about waist high. All he had to do was get it in his glove and make the throw. Easy two.
Well, it was kind of cued a little bit, and I was worried about it hitting that transition grass to dirt there in the infield. But Bryce did a good job of gobbling it up. And a twin killing here in the top of the first. Here's Bryce McKay now, their center fielder. This was fouled out of play.
Speaking of coaching changes, have you heard any new coaching changes or people changing positions or anything with everything going on in the area?
Have not. I've done plenty, I think, for my rumor mill.
Good. I'll keep you posted if I hear anything.
And Reed Carroll's 0-1's chin music. To the backstop it goes, 1-1.
You know, and there's two things that make Reed very effective is when he's able to throw both pitches and place them on the corner. The other is when he's effectively wild. He throws hard enough to where you can't get too dug in because he just may do what he did there and bring one in about your chin.
1-1 now to Bryce McKay. Carroll, a righty-righty matchup and some gas. 1-2 now, swing and a miss.
I would say the ball would Logan Paul you or Jake Paul you, whichever one's in the boxing, but that would mean you'd have to take a dive just to make some money, like his opponent did.
Oh, boy.
I hadn't seen that since the Tyson days.
Yes. Here's a 1-2 to Bryce McKay.
Got him.
Got him. Backwards K on outside black. Nasty pitch from Carroll. He got around a leadoff walk with a twin killing and then a strikeout, and the Bulldogs do quick work in the top of the first. Dogs coming to bat in the bottom half. No score here in game 2 of this 5A West doubleheader with Mountain Home. Greenwood Baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5. You can give me a minute here. We'll let the pitcher get loose. Please. How's our Taco Bell looking back there? Have you seen anything?
It's got lettuce on it.
The tacos?
I think they're pretty sure there's no meat-only tacos. And it's gotten to where I've had to ask for extra meat. There are some meat-only?
No, it's not meat. It's rice and something.
Oh.
But it's good.
My wife's a huge fan of tacos for life.
It's great.
Cheese dip's unreal.
Yes. And every dollar spent, they donate to somebody.
Shoes for kids and overseas.
That's great because the people in America don't need them. I'm so sick of overseas. What? Are we live?
No, not yet.
I think we are, though.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We are back here in Greenwood. Hope you're enjoying the shenanigans if you're watching on Facebook Live. Tim Terry, Keith Holt. Bottom of the first, no score. Chance Oath, Reed Carroll, Caden Brown will lead it off for the Bulldogs.
Give a shout-out to my son Peyton up at Crowder College.
Yeah.
A week and a half ago, broke his hand. Inside fastball hit on top of his hand. We thought he'd probably be out till mid postseason. They've only got 2 weekends of ball left, and he's going to start back next weekend. So a steady diet of vitamin C and some calcium and iron, and his hand swellings went down. So excited to hear Peyton's going to be back in the lineup in a couple weeks.
And man, is he lighting it up there at Crowder in the O-Show. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, the whole team, they're ranked 3rd in the country and won 33 or 34 straight.
That is Logan Walker, a right-handed hurler on the bump for the Bombers.
Yeah, that hoodie's getting his way.
Yeah,
you see that?
it is. He's having to adjust the hoodie back there. We'll keep an eye on that and see if it pays dividends. First one's low to Chance Oath. And he lifts this one to right center, the right fielder there, and makes the catch. That's Beckham, I believe, out there for out number 1.
We might as well call Coach Husband and have the basketball team just wear hoodies. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's certain like even the turtleneck. Just wear the gaiter over your neck and put it, where you're warm, but you just can't have that thing flopping around back there. It throws off your balance.
And here is Walker to Reed Carroll and a called strike on the outside black. Greenwood's pitcher, right-handed bat.
Well, nobody's had to work harder to work his way back in the lineup, and he's hitting the ball hard.
And that's a chopper to third. Nice play. Double clutch to get it out of his glove, but still had enough time. 5-3 on the putout.
As one of them Smurf had hold of it in there.
Yep, it's amazing. Here's Caden Brown now trying to avoid a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the first.
Well, you and I have talked about this now ad nauseum. You can't sweep if you don't win them both.
You know, that's true. You really need to do that. To get 2 wins, you've got to win both of them. And so Brown in the 3-hole, the center fielder, Caden, waits on the first one. And a curveball's in there for a called strike. Logan Walker. A nice little 6-12 or there, 12-6 rather.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. That's upstairs. 1-1.
Again, you and I had the conversation when we lost to Russellville that Russellville didn't have any pitchers that should have just stifled our bats, but they did. And I feel the same way as we see a ball way outside. Against Mountain Home, I thought they'd have something like
I did too.
Not quite a Dorica, but something close and they don't. And I just think that bodes well for Greenwood. When you talk about the pitching Greenwood has, I like our chances in the postseason.
Here's the 2-1. That's in the dirt, 3-1. Now you've got Little Rock Christian, you've got Jonesboro, Van Buren. They're all up there, highly ranked. Seems like there's one more team in 5A that's
Sheridan.
Sheridan,
yes.
They're always salty. 3-1 now to Brown. Guess what? He walked.
Yeah, I believe Bryant's the unanimous overall.
Yes.
But then Sheridan, Jonesboro, those guys. And Jonesboro has a huge pool of players to pull from because if you're anywhere close to a baseball player, you play within Jonesboro, and they're pretty good.
Yes. So here's Hunter Houston now, the Greenwood third baseman, sophomore.
Wait, did Brown walk again?
He did.
Wow, it's amazing.
Right-handed bat, yeah.
We never see that, do we?
Amazing. Houston first pitch swinging. This one's in the air. It's in play on foul ground. The first baseman, he tiptoed towards the Greenwood dugout and didn't go get it. It drops foul. We know what that means, Keith.
Oh, yeah. You ever see that? What should have been an out, the next pitch is either a double or something good happens in Greenwood's favor. The pitcher should have ran. I mean, everything we've seen, that last ball that their outfielder caught from started towards center and finished in right. If the first baseman goes and gets his hand on the rail, he catches it easily right over his head. I mean, it was an easy catch. He just tiptoed over there, like you said, and it just got out of reach from him and went off his glove.
0-1 to Houston. Walker checks the runner at first. Double checks. Now there goes Brown. The curveball's low, and he'll take second. No problemo. 1-1 now to Hunter Houston. Here's an RBI opportunity when we talk about free outs. And this is a chance now for Houston to cash in. You said it'd be a double. I think you're right.
Well, it's not an error in the book, but you and I both know it's an error that's going to cost them.
Yep. Walker checks Brown at second and comes home with it. That was lifted to right, but the right fielder, Beckham, had to dance a little bit, but he found it. And just like that, everything we said is to no avail. Greenwood left a runner on base, no runs and no hits. We played an inning of baseball here in the game 2 of this 5A West doubleheader. And it's no score, Greenwood and Mountain Home, Greenwood Sports Center Online, and the Sports Hog 103.5. Today's Game 2 brought to you in part by Freedom Roofing. Appreciate the folks over at Freedom Roofing for all their help with the baseball broadcast. Free estimates. Got a warranty over there? Got a guarantee? It's got a lifetime thing?
Lifetime labor warranty.
Yeah.
You know, you figure if you're going to do something with your hands and you're going to put labor behind it, you got to back it up for as long as it's there. These guys that do it for 2 or 3 years means, well, if you don't catch it in the first 2 or 3 years, then we got away with something. Well, we'll take care of it. And, got to give credit to Shannon Gillum who got me and, my family in the business. And it hasn't been very big as of yet this year. Nobody likes to spend money with the price of shingles and materials the way it is.
Yeah.
And everybody's always waiting on the next storm, so insurance will pay for it. So it's been really quiet, but you never know what's going to happen.
479-597-6777. I want to thank the folks at Pradco and Phil, the Wobble Bobber Easy to catch a fish with that wobble bobber.
Think you can get us a couple? We can try them out.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if I can. See if I can pull some strings. Here's Logan Walker, their pitcher. He's in the cleanup spot for the Bombers. A righty-righty matchup, and Reed Carroll back to work on the bump for Greenwood. The first one's a fastball right down Broadway for strike one. Still no scoreboard here at Nine Pines. Maybe it'll kick on here later on. 0-1, and that's in there for a called strike. Walker, I thought, was going to go get it, and he decided against it and watched it go right down the middle.
Let's say you're the doctor, Smith, and you get a new scoreboard. Where do you put it? Do you keep it in left center? Do you put it over here kind of just to the right of the batting cage? Where do you put your new scoreboard?
That's outside. He checked his swing 1 and 2. I'd put it right there, but it's going to be longer because we're going to have the innings on it.
Yeah, it should go from the pole over to the wall,
Yes, right.
to the batter's eye.
Yeah, I like it right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Logan Walker. And Reed Carroll behind the glove. Strozier set up outside. Here it comes. He hit him right where he wanted to, but good pitch. Good take from Walker. 2-2.
That's one of those where Reed hit his spot, but where his spot was that Strozier wanted was just too far off the plate.
Reed Carroll brings the 2-2 home. Just outside. 3-2. Greenwood's in their home whites with the navy blue pinstripes here in game 2 again. The Bombers road grays. They've got Bombers in cursive across the front. It's in royal blue trimmed in gold, as is the numerals on the back. They got the sleeveless jerseys with blue undershirts. Wow, and a strikeout looking as Carroll painted the outside corner. And there's 1 down now for Dawson Tabor, their DH.
To me, that was outside, but I love it. I guess he's like, well, Reed's been so consistent hitting there. I'm going to give it to him.
Now, this guy looked like he was their pitcher in game 1.
Yes, he was.
Dawson Tabor. I called him Dylan something or other the whole game, Drewski. He's a DH here in game 2, a right-handed bat, and the curveball's low and away, ball 1.
How many outs do you have?
1 down.
1 out. Scoreboard's down.
Dawson Tabor. So my apologies to the Tabor family. Of course, he surrendered a whole bunch of runs. They're probably glad I was calling him somebody else maybe. That one's out of Strozier's glove. There's your Smurfs you talked about that bounced out to the backstop. 2-0 now to Tabor.
Well, you definitely don't need the Smurfs changing their loyalty and getting in the gloves of the Greenwood players.
Bulldogs won game 1 11-1, a 5-inning run rule. There's a little tapper, and Hunter Houston couldn't glove it, and it's an error.
He was trying to throw that quicker than he had the ball. You could tell he's already bringing his glove up. He was thinking about the throw from earlier and just was too quick with his glove and didn't keep it down to work through it.
3rd error today on Hunter. He'll clean it up. It's 375 straightaway center here at Bulldog Diamond. 330 down the lines. 330 down right or left field. 320 down right. 350 to the right center power alley. 365 to left center. Carroll's just outside to Reese Ducker, their first baseman. Ball 1. Pitchers have to just kind of refocus when there's an error behind them. Probably frustrating.
Yeah, he started to go from the windup right there and had to be told to step off.
Went to the stretch. Here's the 1-0. That's laced to right. Can Oath get to it? It's tailing away from him. Good job from Chase. He's got great speed. Out number 2.
Yep, talked about his defense at the Southside game. Threw a runner out at second. Had a 9-6 put out and also dove in a crucial part of the game and made a big catch.
Trent Jordan, the last chance for the Bombers here in the top of the second. No score. He's their third baseman. Left-handed bat. Tabor's over at first, reached on an error. And Carroll comes home with it, and that's over but low. Ball 1.
You know, there's an experimental, it's below the minors, but it's where they put in all these things that Major League wants to try out, and they just started trying out moving the mound back 1 foot.
Goodness gracious.
They're trying to do everything they can to get people to score, I guess.
Yeah. Get everybody a trophy. It's great. Poor pitchers.
Well, major leagues just they think what sells in football is all these scoring and everything goes to where people can score, don't hurt the quarterback, and they're thinking, well, we need to score, we need more offense. Let's make the bases bigger. Let's make the pitcher further, throw further.
Swing and a miss, 2-1 to Jordan.
And they're wrong. I mean,
what sells football is a short season. It's not over watered down like 162 games.
Right.
It comes. There's about 21 weeks of the year that football goes from the first to the Super Bowl. Strike call.
Well, you wouldn't have to oversell baseball if you didn't overpay some players. I think Bobby Bonilla is still making what?
Sure.
$10 million a year?
Something like that.
He's not
I think he
even
gets $1
playing.
million from the Mets every July 1st every year, I believe, for a couple more years now. Here's Trent Jordan at a 2-2, and Carroll's ready. Strozier set up a bit outside, and they went way outside. Full count now to Trent Jordan. They're all overpaid, obviously, but every sport, men's sports.
Yes.
I beg your pardon. But yeah, that's the thing about the
argument now is that women's NBA players should make as much as LeBron.
There goes the runner, and a pitch is high, and it's a walk. And there's absolutely, I think LeBron should make as much as the WNBA players. I don't know. The tickets will be cheaper. Jersey sales, I mean, they're still going to be there.
Now, didn't they approve the NCAA for players to be able to make money off their namesake?
Yeah, or their likeness or
Or their
whatever.
likeness?
I have no idea. I don't keep up with any of that. I'll buy some Hogs gear on occasion. I've got a little bit of San Francisco Giants gear, a lot of Greenwood stuff. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, who gets paid and who doesn't and how much they make. If I feel like watching, I will. There's always Chicago PD is my go-to if I need to. Here's Logan Ballard. First one to him's a ball. Mountain home with runners at first and second.
First really threat of the day, isn't it?
Yes. An error and a walk. And a called strike to Ballard. Thought he tried to put an elbow in on that one. To no avail.
And that's one of my least favorite collegiate rules is now if you put your elbow over the plate, you should be able to stay there even in high school. I'll let you call this.
Here's a 1-1. All right to Kennan. Kind of hello, welcome to my glove. That one there, but we'll take it. 3 unassisted. And the Bombers leave 2 on base. There was 1 error. We'll stay right here in the middle of the second inning and let Keith finish his deal.
What did I start with? Help me.
Something about, I have no idea. I can't remember.
I can't. Maybe you should go to break.
Well, let's go to break, man. We can do that.
I'll try to think of it.
Let's stay here anyway. It's 7 o'clock. I'll tell you what, maybe we'll have Jessica. Well, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Sounds great.
It's Greenwood Baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5. We're back here in Greenwood. Well, glad to have you aboard here on the Sports Hog 103.5 and online at Greenwood Sports Center, Facebook only tonight. Greenwood Baseball won the first game 11-1 in a run rule fashion. And this was the inning they blew it open in game 1. Scored 7 runs. Let's see if the Bulldogs bats can come alive here with Adams, Kennan, and Brewer.
Well, I think Greenwood has gotten good enough and more consistent offensively. Like with any team, if you got a pitcher that mixes it up, that hits locations, you should be able to make any adjustments by the second time through the lineup. We're still on our first time, so I have no doubt we'll come through it. Like, again, we're not seeing any pitching that should just be shutting us down.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a lot better once we get back to the top and everybody's had a chance to see this pitcher.
First one to Logan to Harrison. Adams is ripped down the left field line. Adams with extra bases. He's on his horse around first, and a no-problem double to lead off the second inning. And just like you said, Keith, here they come.
Yeah, and that was a good pitch. Inside fastball, got jumped on the first pitch. Wasn't too impatient or too patient. He jumped right on it.
Siloam loses to Russellville 11-3 in game 1. Just got that confirmed. So.
Gosh, and that should happen.
Yep. Here's Aiden Kennan now, Greenwood's first baseman. Siloam lost one of their better pitchers to a broken foot, so we knew there was something missing. As they were 5-5 coming in, they sure didn't look like they were that good.
Oh, okay.
Last week we were 5-3 actually. When we got there. Kennan takes a hack at the first one. It scatters them in the Mountain Home dugout. Foul ball, strike one. Brewers on deck for Greenwood. Bottom of the second, no score. Huge doubleheader here for the Greenwood. Two teams locked up in a four-way tie for second in the conference. Greenbrier's idle. Russellville has won. They own the tiebreaker on Greenwood, as does Greenbrier for that matter. Kennan rips one to center field. Will Adams have enough to get home? He's going to make the turn and come on in. The throw to the plate is not in time and is safe in an RBI single for Kennan, and he'll move up on the throw in.
Well, and this is by no stretch a knock on Harrison or Aiden, but they're sophomores, and the pitching, you see the last game, they weren't as successful. The pitcher threw a little bit harder. To me, everybody should be doing this. This should be another run rule game here in about 35, 45 minutes. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Because, I mean, that was a good piece of hitting by Aiden to hit it back up the middle. I believe it was off speed. He just kept his hands back.
Here's Luke Brewer now, Greenwood's left fielder. And they appealed to third, thinking he might have missed the bag. And the home plate blue said, no, he's safe. I didn't see that, but it was worth a shot. RBI for Kennan. He's out at second base. Brewer squaring to bunt. And they plunked him. And Brewer will take his base. Yeah.
Kind of take off his stuff and kind of stare at the pitcher. He's going to stare at him and run down.
Strozier will bat now. One thing is, for Brewer, got to make sure you get that bat back.
It was, literally behind him.
Yeah. But he almost left the bat out as if to offer. Would have sure been crazy to be called a strike. But Strozier now, the catcher. Another righty look. Greenwood with something brewing here. Nobody out in first and second. Already a run across on 2 hits. And Strozier waits on it. He's due. Speed on the bases. Dillon squaring the bunt. The bunt's down, a beauty. Right back to, or out in front of the plate. The catcher will go get it. The sacrifice is good. Fantastic.
Yeah, if you're going to bunt it in the direction of the pitcher, it has to be at a distance to where the catcher and the pitcher meet there at the same time. That was just close enough that the catcher fielded it, but just far away that the pitcher couldn't, so that's what made it a decent bunt. Catcher came up and actually did a good job that time of getting the ball and getting it to first base.
Here's Greenwood's shortstop, Bryce Morgan. Now he's seeing all kinds of dogs out there on the bases. 2 RBI chance here for Bryce, who's had to do his bunting of his own in situations in the first game. A chance to swing away. This one's off the pitcher's glove. They're going to go home with it, and safe at home. Kennan slides in behind the throw. The tag was applied, but too late. And Morgan's on with the fielder's choice.
Yeah, and that's a poor decision on the pitcher. He would have had that play if he fields it cleanly. It went off his glove about 6 feet to the first base side. He had to go pick it up and throw it, and by that time there was just no chance of getting Aiden. He should have just took it out at first and got away with 1 run. Now you've got runners at the corners, and you still don't have but 1 out.
Right. So an RBI for Morgan, top of the order. Here comes Chance Oaf. And Logan Walker in a jam here in the bottom of the second. The Bulldogs did their damage earlier in game 1 in this inning. See if Oaf can keep this rally alive. Runners at the corners. Brewer and Bryce Morgan. There goes Bryce, and they're going to throw over, and the second baseman dropped it again. Brewer will stay put, and they take a bag.
That's the second time that the pitcher fakes the pick to third, wheels around. But that time, nobody from the middle infield was there. It's like they just got caught off guard. And if Morgan doesn't slow down at all, it's not even going to be close. But he thought he's told not to get in a rundown, so he kind of pauses, and the second baseman drops it.
What's Mikado got up his sleeve here? Wanting a balk, maybe? Didn't get a run in for sure.
Well, and that's probably what he's just checking, is making sure. You know, at the lower levels, you can't do that. you have to pick. If you pick up your leg, you have to pitch or pick to third. You can't do the fake anymore for that reason right there.
So really, can we assign an error to any of that going on there a while ago?
No,
We can't assume the out, right?
just a stolen base.
Yeah. Well, here's Walker who have to come home now to Oaf, and it's outside. Ball 1. I think that's the first pitch a Chance has seen. In this at-bat, flied out to right his first time up. Walker comes set, checks on the runners for Mountain Home. He'll bring it home to Oaf. That's in there for a called strike.
I'm not sure the right fielder's learned his lesson. I think he's too shallow.
Yep.
I think around that ABC/Walmart sign, Atchley Air somewhere in there, that's where Oaf's going to hit this ball.
Well, feeding him outside for now, trying to get him to go the other way with it, I guess. Stay out of his wheelhouse. We'll see what the 1-1 does from Walker. That's low. Good job from Cody to knock it down. 2-1.
Well, that's the Achilles heel of what Greenwood has not been able to do is come up with big hits with runners in scoring position. You and I have talked about it every game where we leave way too many. Even the last game, we left some guys on that could have made it even worse. We've got to be able to hit with runners in scoring position. We work hard to get them on base now, and I like our position with Oaf and Reed.
Yeah.
Do up this inning.
Here's the 2-1. And Oaf tried to go the other way with one. Sawed him off foul out of play over the third base dugout. 2-2.
Well, it's got to be inviting to see a left fielder playing a little shallow, and there's a big gap out there between the left fielder and the line. And Oaf knows everybody's going to score, and he's getting extra bases for sure.
2-2 now to the Greenwood right fielder, Chance Oaf. Heading to Arkansas Tech next year to play baseball. Walker comes set for Mountain Home, and Oaf taps one of the first basemen. And he touches the bag, but a late break and Brewer's there. That was almost catastrophe, but it worked out okay.
Well, the rule is if the ball goes away from you and the first baseman's back, you score. If he's in, you hold. But he was in, and it was a slow chopper. I think if he breaks on the hit, he makes it easily. And the first baseman did a poor job of freezing him.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of looked in that direction, but Brewer took off early, and then by that time it was too late.
Well, and Morgan he was already on third base, so Brewer had no choice but to try to come home. And it worked out all right, an RBI for Oaf. And now Reed Carroll, and a ball 1 to him. 2 outs now, 3 unassisted. 3 across for Greenwood. They lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the second. That's upstairs as Cody tried to frame it, the Mountain Home catcher. To
get a sac fly. Now you got to be a little bit more patient, wait for something you can drive.
That's outside 3-0. Didn't carry him far enough away out of the catcher's glove for Morgan to score. It sure would have been a train wreck at the plate had he tried to come on in, which I'm all for. I like some action. Brown's on deck hoping that Carroll can keep the inning alive here in the bottom of the second. Bryce Morgan at third. Here it comes from Walker. And it's low, and he walked him. 4-pitch walk to Reed Carroll. And now Caden Brown, who walked his first time up.
We're having better at bats overall.
Yeah.
We're not swinging at junk. We're hitting fastballs early in the count, being more aggressive early. And I think that's the difference. And now we're getting guys on base and we're scoring them. And again, man, after watching everybody, I know we haven't seen Alma, but we know what they are.
Right.
If Oaf is healthy pitching, then Greenwood's probably got the best pitching staff in the conference by far.
I agree. Here's Logan Walker for Mountain Home. First one to Brown is a little high. The catcher couldn't squeeze it. It's ball 1.
That was right down the middle. And we're not far from having the best pitching staff right now. Just if you look at Jerica, Carroll, Aiden Kennan, Austin Mitchell, Hunter. I mean, the guys that have been pitching varsity and stuff. You're not too far away from having the best pitching staff right now as it is. There's nobody else that has that kind of pitching. We've seen Greenbrier's probably the closest. I think Greenbrier's got the 2 lefties, and that's it. Russellville has nothing that scares me. Siloam, nothing. Mountain Home, nothing.
Right. Here is Walker as Mitchell comes out to run for Reed Carroll, the pitcher. And it's Caden Brown with a big hack at it. 1-1 now to the Greenwood center fielder.
Well, this is coach electing not to steal. He hasn't given a sign if he steals. He's kind of on his own just because he wants to make sure Brown has a chance to hit with the runner in scoring position.
They throw over. Well, now he's got no choice. They threw it away. Here comes Morgan in to score. And an error on the pitcher. Threw it to the parking lot. It stayed in the park, though. Carroll will go up, or Mitchell, rather, will go to second. And the Bulldogs lead 4-0. We'll take it any way we can get it. Now Brown with plenty of room to run with Mitchell at second. I can see him swap places with him. Here's Walker's offering to Greenwood's center fielder, and it's popped up. The second baseman has drawn a bead and makes the catch right on the grass. Ballard, and that will do it for the Bulldogs here in the second. But there was some action. 1-2 hits for the Bulldogs. Left a man on base. Scored 4 runs, which is what I'm talking about. There was an error also. Bulldogs lead 4-0. 2 innings in the book here. Game 2 of this 5A West doubleheader with the Mountain Home Bombers. And we'll take a quick break. Greenwood Baseball on Greenwood Sports Center Online and the Sports Hog 103.5. 30 seconds. Yeah, I totally forgot about the starting your 7 o'clocker. So we stayed, act like we paused for station identification at 7.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
And we are back here in Greenwood. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, glad to have you aboard. Appreciate all of our sponsors down the line. You say too much lettuce on the Taco Bell here in the press box?
Yeah, and I've had to, every time I go by there now, I have to ask for extra meat because you know how they are when they take off the lettuce.
Yeah,
they just leave that little bit of strip of meat, and then you basically just eating a taco. It's like you might as well ask for a big chip.
With a lot of cheese?
Yeah, the cheese is, if they put extra, that's great. I just want extra. I usually say extra meat and cheese.
How much they charge you for that extra meat? Anything?
I don't look because I don't want to know.
Okay.
Because I want to say, how about this? How about you don't charge me because I'm saving you all that money you paid on the lettuce.
See, I'm in that deal with the cheese on my hamburger. You go order a hamburger and let's say I get a Big Mac, and I don't want cheese on it. Well, they don't lower the price any, so you folks that eat a normal Big Mac are getting free cheese.
That's exactly right. Yeah, if you were to add bacon, they're going to charge you for the bacon.
Yes. If you pull tomatoes off a Whopper at Burger King, it's no savings.
And the price of tomatoes and lettuce is greater than the price of cheese. It's weird.
So congratulations to y'all that eat the tomato on the Whopper. It's free.
It's free.
That's amazing.
I don't eat mustard or ketchup. I'm saving them a ton, but I'm paying premium prices for this food.
We've got a car in the parking lot with their headlights on. If you're listening to us, that's what Home Plate Blues want you to turn your lights off. Thank you. Surely you're tuned in out there. So here is, who we got? Isaac House, their 9-hole. He's their left fielder, right-handed batter, and Reed's back to work up on top. Reed Carroll. And that one's fouled right into the windshield of the car with his lights on. What do you know? I don't think it hit him, but it went right towards the car. What are the odds? Reed Carroll. Houston's up on the grass at third.
Wind died down.
I think the flag's just kind of in a bind out there. And there's a shot to shortstop. Morgan to his right and boots it. Boy, that's a tough one to score.
There's an error.
I believe so. Yeah,
I mean,
you got to call it that.
He should have probably backhanded it. He got there in plenty of time, but what happened was when he squared up to the ball, he was back on his heels. And when you're back on your heels, it's just hard to keep your glove out in front of you, and it wasn't. It kind of ate him up a little bit, but he probably should have just went over there and backhanded it, made the easy throw.
They throw over it. Oh, boy, it's close. His House barely got back in. If the throw's a little lower, he's dead meat.
Well, he slow motioned it in. I don't know how he almost stopped sliding into the base, but it's like watching a cartoon.
It looked like Mitchell on third on the same kind of slide on game one. There's a bunt. It's in the air, but not going to be able to get there. It's Kennan who gave chase.
Almost a double down the line out of the bunt.
And a strike one to Will Beckham. He's their right fielder, left-handed leadoff. Walked his first time, then he was caught up in the double play out at second base. Carroll from the stretch for Greenwood up top. Bulldogs lead 4-0 here, and they throw over again. Back in safely again is Isaac House. 1 strike count to Beckham. Carroll peeks over. There goes the runner, and it's in the dirt. And if he had his head on a swivel, he might could have turned and got pretty close to third.
He stole that off Reed's rhythm. He actually took off right before Reed started pitching it, so he kind of guessed that he's not picking over here, and he got a good running start. Strozier had no chance of getting him.
Right.
And I think that's what Strozier was trying to do, was be too quick because he knew it and just missed the ball.
1-1 to Beckham. Carroll peeks out to second base and squaring the bunt. The ball bounced in and hit the batter. Now they're going to give him the base.
They need to ask if he offered.
That's what I would think too. But I think they're going to the House is going to head back to second on the dead ball. He was heading to third.
Well, I couldn't see. He obviously no one else is arguing, so I guess he pulled back. But it looked like he squared, and then it just came inside and hit him on the leg.
So first and second for the Bombers. Nobody out here. Carroll had a little bit of a jam in the top of the third. Bulldogs lead 4-0. And Strozier's out to talk to his pitcher. As Reed Ellison will stand in from the right side. He hit into the double play in the first inning.
He can feel free to hit into another one.
Be nice. Nobody out here. Runners at first and second for Mountain Home. Carroll comes set up top, and Ellison waits on it. He squares the bunt, and that's just outside for ball 1.
You know, this explains now why the Russellville scores, even when they did win, were 2-1
Yes.
and 1-0. And I mean, it's just you can't score a ton of runs when you bunt every other guy in the lineup.
Right. Squaring the bunt again. This one's in the air, and Kennan couldn't quite get there. He was charging hard, but it's foul. 1-1 now to Reed Ellison.
To me, this would be like being the poorest free throw shooting team in the conference, but yet drawing fouls intentionally to get to the line. I mean, I don't know why we're bunting so much because they've not been good at it. I think there's been one decent bunt. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Has there been one?
I think maybe one. Both runners going. The ball is hit to second base, fielded by Adams nicely over to first for out number 1.
That was a good job of Adams. It was a hit and run basically, and I guess Bryce went to cover second base, and he stayed at home. A lot of times the second baseman will tend to drift towards second. He stayed right at home. Ball came right to him.
Well, and that also the runner passed right in front of his view too, and Harrison stayed focused enough to not let that deter him either and made a nice clean play. So here is Bryce McKay, their center fielder, struck out looking to end the first inning, and he swung and tip fouled some high cheese there. Strike 1. Runners move over to second and third for Mountain Home. Greenwood leading 4-0, but the Bombers have something going here. Square to bunt.
Yeah, wouldn't be shocked.
There's one out. Here's McKay in the 3-hole. That one's in the dirt. Strozier knocked it down. 1-1.
And it's crazy when the other catcher for Mountain Home was back there, you don't stop watching until the ball is actually controlled behind him. Now I know as soon as Reed throws it and it gets up to Strozier, you know it's not going anywhere. Strozier does a great job of being a defensive catcher.
1-1 to Bryce McKay. That's inside. 2-1. McKay was going to let that one get him too. Looks like they've called it a day over in the softball diamond. I'm figuring the ladies sweep.
Well, good for Mountain Home. Get home early.
Yes. Here's Reed Carroll's 2-1 to McKay. And that's inside. 3-1. Well, there's a base open, but I don't think you really want him over there. He does get the double play back in order with 1 down. 3-1 to McKay. Give him a strike. Give him something to hit. Let your defense work. Carroll comes set from the stretch, and he comes home with it. Called strike. Good pitch. Full count.
Well, Greenwood has started hitting the ball, and if you're going to go far in the playoffs, that's the first thing you got to do is start hitting the ball. The next thing we got to shore up is our defense can't have the errors.
Right. And that's inside, and he walked him, and they're loaded up. For Logan Walker, the pitcher for Mountain Home, struck out looking to start the second inning.
If there are any parents of any current 6th graders out there, April 27th through the 29th at East Hills Gym, 3:30 to 5 o'clock. Boys basketball tryouts. Going to be 7th graders next year. That's April 27th through the 29th. And I'll let you know when the football is going to meet as well here in a few minutes.
Carroll now with the bases juiced. A lot of bombers out there. And swing and a miss from Walker. He was trying to tie this game up with one swing.
Coach Young would not be happy with me if I didn't mention that May 3rd through May 5th, 2:45 to 4:30 at the Greenwood High School football field. Come out if you're a 6th grader, learn how to put on pads, get a locker. You're going to have a lot of fun being a Greenwood Bulldog football player.
Swing and a miss from Walker at the 0-1, and he's in a hole 0-2.
Again, that's May 3rd through the 5th, 2:45 to 4:30 for any 6th grader interested in playing 7th grade football.
Carroll trying to get a big strikeout right here. Here's the 0-2. Laced right back up the box and into center field. Thought Adams might could have gave it a shot at it, but it was over his head. Play at the plate, and he's out. Oh, he's safe under the tag. Woo! That was close.
That was it was probably a great slide. The problem was the throw led Aiden kind of towards first base side, and when he threw it to Strozer's right just enough to where he had to reach to make the tag and just didn't reach far enough.
And Walker helping himself out with a 2 RBI single. McKay's over at second. And here's Dawson Tabor, their DH. That one's fouled up out of play, strike one.
You have the score as 4 to
2.
4-2.
Yep.
Just checking the scoreboard's out.
Yes.
Oh, I guess I could look behind me on the live stream. Very
right,
good.
she's got it.
Yes.
Kennedy's got it up and going. Here is the 0-1. This one's fouled out of play.
The runners were going too, and I like that. I like the fact that their coach is trying to get things going and make things happen, make the defense move, make this batter swing the bat. Because they definitely need to swing it after having 9 strikeouts last game.
Yes. Dawson Tabor, their DH, reached on an error his first time up, was stranded at second base. Carroll in a jam here with 1 out. Top of the 3rd, spins and looks at second base, nobody home.
Yeah, when a pitcher spins like that, they're assuming that the runner on second may go, and he's going to go on first movement, and you're hoping to catch him, and no doing from Mountain Home. Bombers are staying still.
Morgan Deacon like he's going to hold the runner. And he comes home with it. This one's laced to center. Brown's got it, no problem. Good jump. Caden waited on it for out number 2. Reese Ducker now flied out to right field. His last time up, he's 0 for 1.
Man, he'd probably do a little bit better if he wasn't wearing a hoodie.
He's their first baseman.
The hoodie's getting away in baseball. Flopping around, hitting you in the back of the head.
Well, it's tough that the pitcher has his on. I agree with that. It has to be a little annoying. That's inside. Ball 1 to Ducker.
But that may be all they have because they're wearing the sleeveless jerseys. And with the sleeveless jerseys, you put on whatever's comfortable. Maybe that's their long sleeves that some of those kids have. Is just it's got it with a hoodie. Now there's a short sleeve hoodie.
Right. Well, I think they're all the hoodies are short sleeve, but some of them have a white, a long sleeve
so
blue shirt
3
underneath.
shirts on.
Yeah. That is outside. Ball 2.
You think Mountain Home would be used to it being cold up there?
It's always cold in Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good area. Love that Buffalo River.
Beautiful. I remember Magic Springs up near there.
No.
Am I going the wrong direction?
Wrong direction. They're going to try to steal third, and it came off the base, but Hunter couldn't keep the tag applied, and able to get back on was McKay, and they swiped second and third. It's a 2-1 count to Ducker with 2 outs. You've got Dog Patch used to kind of be up there somewhere.
Dog Patch, that's what I'm thinking.
Near Harrison,
Sorry.
a little south of Harrison.
Yeah.
And that's over below 3-1.
Oh, the Dog Patch.
Yeah.
If you're under what, 37 years old? You have no idea what we're talking about?
That's right. The 3-1 now to Reese Ducker. And Reed Carroll comes home with it. Swing and a miss. Full count. 2 outs. Payoff pitch. 4-2. Greenwood with the lead. Mountain Home's scratched 2 across here in the third. There's only 1 hit. It was a 2 RBI single by Walker.
Got him.
Got him in a backwards K. Nice pitch to get out of the jam. They had 2 runs, though, on a hit. There was an error on the shortstop. They left 2 on base. They've left 4 here in game 2. Greenwood still with the lead, 4-2 in the middle of the third inning. 5A West Baseball on Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. I'd like to thank Freedom Roofing for all their help with the broadcast this season. Free estimates, got a lifetime warranty on the labor. Give them a call, 479-597-6777. The Wobble Bobber. If you're into fishing, probably go find one of them wherever there's fishing up. Tackle box maybe, wherever you can find your fishing gear. Pradco and Thill, the Wobble Bobber. I don't remember the last time I went fishing.
There's just no time. You know, we talk about, Hallie and I talk about all the time that when you have kids and they're all doing different things, you're in different stages of your life. And, we're still in that stage where we got a 6th grader, a 10th grader, and a kid in college. And, you can't find time to fish, especially with travel ball,
Yeah.
high school ball, and college ball. They all play on the weekends.
Right. Yeah, we need to remember Multiplicity with Michael Keaton?
Yes,
that guy.
very good. Can't make a copy of a copy. I learned that.
Right.
You cannot clone a copy of a copy.
Houston, Adams, and Kennan do up here in the third inning. Here's Hunter Houston flied out to right to end the first inning. And the right-handed batting third baseman looks at a ball that bounced in about 58 feet for ball 1.
Yeah, Hunter, what I was going to say after his last at-bat, usually he's patient, takes a couple pitches, and gets deep in the count. He was aggressive, and he just wasn't on time. He was just a little bit out front and popped it up.
Here's a 1-0 to Houston. And that's over but low, ball 2. I'd like to see him stay patient here and get to this pitcher a little bit. 4-2, Greenwood leads. Run ruled him 11-1 in game 1. Logan Walker on the bump for the Bombers. That's in there for a called strike. 2-1.
Again, you got scoreboard watchers out there, and if you're Russellville and you just got swept by them, you're thinking, oh, man, here come the Bulldogs. They're hitting. They've got everything running, and that's the team you don't want to meet in the postseason.
2-1 to Houston. Swinging, just tipped it a bit. Foul back. 2-2. Yeah, there's no denying that the sweep got us. That's going to cost us in the standings. I don't know who Russellville has next week for the finale. Maybe Valonia. Here's a 2-2 to Houston. And it's breaking ball. He just got a little piece of to stay alive. A slow dribbler to the third base side.
No, they're playing Valonia today, right?
Yeah, you may be right.
Have they already played Greenbrier? Because to me, it's the top 3 teams are in order: Greenwood, Greenbrier, Russellville, but not by standings.
And that's upstairs.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And I think Greenwood takes the lead at the top spot. We were ranking the teams because they're the team hitting the ball now. I mean, it's obvious by what they did at Siloam and what they've done today as we see foul off, spoil a pitch, outside fastball. But we're the only team doing that. We're the only team putting up big numbers. And so I think we would be moved to first, and then Greenbrier second because they've got the pitching, and then Russellville third.
Right. And what'd you do with Van Buren?
Oh, darn it. Forgot about Van Buren. Okay, let's move.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. We're playing with Swagger now. They beat us 2-0 in game 1 there. We split with Van Buren. A couple of errors gave up both of those runs. So as Houston lifts one to the left and right to the left fielder, no problem out there for Isaac House.
Okay, I'm going to give it to Van Buren the 1 just because they've been the most consistent the longest. We'll see what they do these next 2 weeks, but they'll get 1. Greenwood's easily the number 2. And then
Yeah.
you've got number 3 will be Greenbrier, or number 4 Russellville. That should be the top 4.
I agree with that.
And that's my power rankings in the conference. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Van Buren because they've kind of stood out from everybody.
Adams doubled his first time up, looked at a breaking ball there for called strike 1. He scored a run. My man Dylan Conley's got us tuned in up in Mountain Home, so appreciate the folks up north checking in on the live stream. Called strike 2 to Adams, 0-2.
That was a good job of the pitcher. He led him off with a fastball that got ripped down the line for a double, and then he said, no, I'm going to give you a curveball.
It's threw him 3 in a row. That one's fouled into the netting. 0-2 still.
Well, if you throw 3 in a row, you got to throw 4. What are you looking for? Charger.
I agree. And here it comes from Logan Walker. And Adams waits, and it's laced to center, but no problem. The bead is drawn out there by McKay, and out number 2.
Thank you. I get one right here.
So Aiden Kennan will come up in the last chance for the Bulldogs here in the 3rd.
Hey, any electricians out there know that if you stick a pencil in a light socket, if it'll hurt you?
He's just itching to try it. Swing the miss from Kennan. Strike 1.
Tim came up with a
I might hand him a
hack.
fork.
He came up with a hack, how to sharpen a pencil. Put it in a Phillips screwdriver head or off a screw, and it'll sharpen your pencil.
Yeah.
I was saying, why not do the same thing with this outlet and get it in there? I just wonder if it'll shock you.
0-2. And Kennan reached out. Not a good at-bat for Aiden Kennan there. Strike out. 1, 2, 3 they go in the 3rd inning. Bulldogs lead 4-2 over Mountain Home. If you're an infant or a child, a toddler, under 10 years old, please do not stick anything in a light socket if you're listening to the broadcast. We'll take a break here after 3 innings. Bulldogs lead 4-2. Greenwood Sports Center Online and the Sports Hog, 103.5.
I'll go ahead and tell you this. I don't think they're called light sockets anymore. That used to be when houses were older and used to plug in your lights to actually have a light socket. I think now they're called charging outlets.
Charging outlets.
You
I
know,
agree with- yeah,
so
for-
no one will even know what I'm
charge
talking
your
about.
phone.
Yes, but
Right.
everybody puts their
That's
they're
true.
called charging outlets.
What's even worse, we were calling it a light socket. It was actually a plug outlet. Those weren't really light sockets.
Oh,
where you
light
put the
sockets.
bulb.
Yes. An
Now,
outlet.
don't stick anything of that either. I think they'll.
Think that'll hurt you too?
if
Only
the
if the switch is turned on.
right?
And that's coming from a kid whose dad worked for OG&E for 100 years.
Let's not try any of it.
Let's quit talking about electricity. The
Right.
only thing that needs to be electric is Reed Carroll on the mound right now.
Yes.
In his fastball.
Yes.
It's the only electric needs to be around here.
He's going to get their 7, 8, and 9 batter.
Can you tell who's warming up down there? Is that
20-something, a righty.
maybe Colton Payton? He's been kind of the go-to guy.
We'll be able to see it. It is the
Yep.
little submariner.
Yep, that's him.
He had a nice outing at Siloam last Tuesday. He threw a bunch of strikes, able to induce a bunch of ground ball outs.
And that's the key. You don't have to do like Drake. Everybody gets caught up in what Drake did and striking out 9 batters. You know, you can make a living keeping the ball down at the knees and getting ground balls if your defense will play behind you. If not, it makes for a long inning.
And it's Trent Jordan, the left-handed batting third baseman, to lead off for the Bombers here in the 4th inning. He walked his first time up, was stranded at first base. And tried to show bunt. It's a called strike. I'm wondering if he thought he offered or if he was in the strike zone.
Had to be in the strike zone.
0-1 now to Jordan. Reed Carroll still at work. That's Hayden Weaver now out at third base, and there's a chopper. He was up expecting the bunt, and a one-hopper came right to his glove. Fantastic. And 5-3 on the put-out. There's one down for Logan Ballard, the second baseman for Mountain Home.
That's the thing with Mountain Home. You better expect the bunt anytime, any situation, any batter. We saw the 4-hole do it earlier in the first game.
Right.
No rhyme or reason. Just do it. Nobody on, nobody out.
Ballard's a right-handed bat. Here comes the first one to him. Is over but low for ball 1 from Reed Carroll. Tim Terry, Keith Hoke, glad to have you aboard. Boy, the season's flying by, Keith. We got one more conference battle at Alma next Tuesday. We'll have it for you right here on the Sports Hog 103.5 and wherever you're watching online, Greenwood Sports Center. 2-0 now to Ballard.
Do you think they'll do the double headers next year the same way, where they get them done in a day?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know why they wouldn't. And he plunked him. The 2-0 came in high and tight. And a one-out base runner for the Bombers, and Isaac House will come in. I will tell you that once we get to the postseason, as Coach Mikado is going to come out and talk to Carroll, we will have to do some serious tap dancing to try to get softball and baseball on the air. The girls are going to be the 1 seed, no doubt about it, in softball. So we shouldn't see any time conflicts with baseball as far as that goes. But since softball is going to be at Mountain Home for this tournament, baseball is going to be at Jonesboro. We're talking about a little over 2-hour trip back and forth. We'll see if we can pull something off here. Might have to. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll figure something out. But for our sponsors down the line, if you're a softball sponsor, we're going to get you your money's worth. Here's Isaac House. Reached on an error in the third and came around to score a run for the Bombers. He led off the third inning. Yeah. And Carroll brings it home. That one's over but low for ball 1.
That's not a good trick either. You got to go through Ash Flat, and once you hit Ash Flat, go up to Hardy.
Well, may stop by and see if Deanne Harris is around up there at Cherokee Village.
Good call.
Yeah.
She's probably down with Clint down in Texarkana.
True. Here's the 1-0. That's high and tight. 2-0. Take the golf clubs and get around the golf in up at Cherokee Village.
Is that Indian Hills course?
I think something maybe. I can't remember the name of them. It's 2-0. They throw over quickly. A high throw, and Kennan had to jump up and grab it. Sliding back in head first is Ballard, no problem. Here's Isaac House. And Reed Carroll kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Got us tuned in up on Washburn Mountain. Appreciate Uncle Ronnie. Checking out some Bulldog baseball. He was a dandy for the Bulldogs. Carroll up on top. He'll come home with it. And this one's laced to right. Oaf was way in. He drops it, so he'll get to go to second. And he'll get the runner that had retreated, knowing that it was going to be an out, but it was not. So it works okay in our favor. 9-6 on the putout.
That's the second time in 2 days he's had, or 3 games he's had a 9-6. I don't think he exactly wanted it that way. He had him doubled off if he caught it, and that's all he was doing. He was just too quick trying to get the ball and get it to first base because the runner had wandered off too far.
Yep. So House is on with the fielder's choice. And Beckham will stand in now from the left side, and that ball's outside to their right fielder, Will Beckham. Ball 1.
And we see Carroll's throwing 69 pitches, throwing 36 for strikes.
Here's Reed's 1-0. There goes the runner, and a good throw, wrong side of the bag. Base is swiped. 2-0. Well, they're aggressive on the base paths. A lot of small ball, but they get the runners in motion. Coach Tim Carver, former Arkansas Razorback, if I'm not mistaken. Here's the 2-0. Carroll from the stretch, peers in, and over to Beckham. And this one's lifted in the air. It's in play. Can Brewer find it? It's tailing foul. He's on his horse, and he couldn't get there. Horrible jump from Brewer. Never saw it off the bat. And there's one of those bonus outs. Long strike.
You hope it doesn't come back to haunt. But am I showing this right that Greenwood's had 1 hit?
1 hit. That was a.
But I've also got Mountain Home as no hits.
No, we have 2 hits. Adams and Kennan had hits. So whatever you're reading is wrong.
Well, it's the Mountain Home game changer, and they didn't have Mountain Home with any errors last game, and we know they had at least 3 or 4.
Walker had a 2 RBI single for the Bombers in the third. And that one was a ball, so it's 3-1. And there's a shot right back up the box. Nice job from Morgan. Can he hang on to it? He couldn't. He bobbled it too many times, and he's safe at first. Gloved it on the exchange. Couldn't wrap it in there.
Well, we haven't been hurt right yet by those errors because we've made them with 2 outs and then got the next guy to get out. So if we can follow suit right here and get number 22, his name is Ellison. If we can get Ellison to ground out or fly out, we'll be in good shape and get out of the inning unscathed. Go score some more runs at the bottom of the inning.
There's 2 outs. Runners at the corner from Mountain Home. Here's Ellison. He's 0 for 2. Chopper to the short. Adams gobbles it over to first, just like you said, Keith. Well done.
Perfect.
4-3 on the putout. The Bombers strand 2. There was an error on the play. They've left 6 base runners here in game number 2. 4-2, Bulldogs lead. In the middle of the 4th inning, Brewer, Strozier, Morgan due up for Greenwood when we come back after this timeout on the Sports Hog 103.5.
All right.
Yeah, baby. Having a good time. We're having a good time.
Hey, do you want a phone this size? I've got an extra one I'll give you. It's got a crack in the screen. Get the screen fixed, and you can have one this size.
Oh, no, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 seconds.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. If you ever
Hey,
change
Sean.
your mind.
5, 4, 3, 2.
We're back here in Greenwood, America. Titletown. 4 state championships for the Bulldogs in baseball, 66, 99, 06, and 18. 11 title game appearances, I believe, yes. And that's up there in the all-time ranks. 41 postseason appearances, and that's 3rd all-time. Mountain Home's got 42. Sylvan Hills with 46. So Greenwood, a baseball town. Don't let them lie to you about that football stuff. Here is Brewer. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run in the 2nd. Or women's basketball, for that matter. It's a baseball town. Called strike to Brewer. Or volleyball town. We can do it all. Golf, wrestling, breaking ball in the dirt.
Well, the problem in the early 90s, late 80s, mainly the early 90s, is that I'll let you call this.
Curveball, swing and a miss. 1 and 2 to Brewer.
That's exactly when Northside and Southside and some of those bigger schools started baseball. Now Michael just threw them into our conference.
Yep.
And that's back when this area had some really dandy baseball players. We say Brewer get caught looking for strike number 3 on an inside curveball.
Yeah, he buckled his knees on that one. Here's Strozier with 1 out. Yeah, you're
But,
right.
I mean, if you remember that, I believe it was my junior year, maybe even my senior year, 90 or 91,
Yeah.
that they entered your conference, and
Yeah.
it was good baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's Dylan Strozier. Sack bunt in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. We can't turn your head for a second. This Walker kid's working quickly. There's a ball laced to right. That may be extra bases. He's going to turn and head for second. Strozier for a catcher with good speed. The throw's not even close, and he's in with a 1-out double for the Bulldogs catcher.
Well, that's a textbook how you go opposite field with an outside pitch. That didn't have any, he didn't let it get deep. He just made great contact with it on the outside part of the plate, and that thing was a line drive over the first baseman's head. Stayed straight down the line. Right fielder actually did a good job of cutting it off, I thought.
Yeah. Tatum Sadler will come out and pinch run, or courtesy run rather, for the Bulldogs catcher. Here's Bryce Morgan. RBI fielder's choice in the 2nd. Came around to score a run. See if Bryce can switch places with him. 4-2 Bulldogs. There's a ball chopped to third base. They check the runner and go across the diamond. And now Sadler's going to try to get to third and out. Tough base running there as they throw across and get Morgan at first, 5-3, and then turn right back around and go 3-5 and get Sadler cut down at third.
Well, that's what they say is if you get your momentum going back to second at all, the defense did their job and you just don't go. You can see that you missed your chance. Tatum trusting his speed a little bit and just beat him there and got him.
So the excitement ends quickly as the Bulldogs had a hit. No runs, no errors, nobody left on base. And Colton Payton out of the bullpen will take over here as we go to the 5th inning. Greenwood in the lead now, 4-2 though, over Mountain Home. Quick timeout. The Bulldogs baseball on Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. Okay.
Five, four, three, two, and 1.
We're back here in Greenwood. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, top of the 5th we go, 4-2. Little better contested game here in Game 2 of this Twin Bill. Bulldogs run-ruled Mountain Home 11-1 in Game 1. Jerica with a dandy on the bump.
Well, this has not been what they call a clean game. There's been errors on both sides, some base running errors on both sides. It just hasn't been very clean. That we've seen Greenwood play some clean games. This isn't one of them, and we're kind of falling into their hands. We look, we've let them lull us into this, and we need to get things back on the right track, get some ground balls, make some plays, the routine plays, get some outs, go up and hit the ball and do what Greenwood's been doing lately to win by big margins.
Senior night here at the ballpark in this doubleheader. Another senior, Colton Payton, out on the bump, and his mustache is in mid-season form. It's fantastic. Payton was kind of a three-quarter, almost a sidearm release. Very effective at Siloam Tuesday night. Last week, here's Bryce McKay, their center fielder, who's walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1.
His release point really allows him to keep the ball low, and he gets a lot of ground balls.
And the first one's way low, bounced in, ball 1.
Yeah, not that low.
Here's some excitement from the Mountain Home dugout as they come alive here. A
It's about time.
5-3-3-5 double play will sure get you some momentum. And they're actually in the game only down by 2 runs. That one's inside, 2-0.
Well, the good news is they can chirp all they want. They've kind of sealed their own demise by not getting runners in when they've got them out there, by making errors, by trying to bunt every other pitch. So I like Greenwood's chances of finishing this thing off.
Way outside, and Stroger's going to go out and talk to Peyton. Weaver still at third. Houston started there. Hayden's got the nod.
We see Austin Mitchell up in the bullpen for Greenwood.
Stroger will ease back to the position behind the dish. 3-0 to Bryce McKay. McKay, Walker, and Tabor here in the top of the 5th. And a called strike. Right on the borderline, but good enough.
We'll take it.
Yep. 3-1 now to McKay, their center fielder. A righty-righty matchup. Here it is.
Same spot.
And just upstairs, I guess, they walked him a leadoff walk for the Bombers. And the tying run comes to the plate, and it's their pitcher, Logan Walker. Walker struck out looking in the 2nd, and then had a 2 RBI single in the 3rd.
Well, and you can quiet them down. Get your ground ball, get a double play, and quiet them down.
Squaring the bunt. The bunt's down. Peyton off the mound fields it, double pumps it, and a low throw goes past Kennan. He struggled to dig him out today over at first base, and the runner moves over to third, and McKay.
Well, I'm not sure the ball hit the ground before it got to Kennan, did it?
I thought it might.
Did it? I couldn't tell. It looked like with the way he reached that it was a low ball, but I really thought his glove could have beat the ball to the dirt.
It's an error nonetheless.
Yeah, and you hate to see that. I mean, that's what we say. We want to keep it clean, and Greenwood take control of this game. And they're giving themselves opportunity, but they're also giving Mountain Home opportunities to get back in this.
And here's Dawson Tabor, their DH, and that one's upstairs for ball 1.
Well, your coach here, you're probably going to hit and run, bunt, do something here because that's been his MO the entire game. Get somebody moving, make something happen.
I would guarantee the Gallon second's going to be taken off. Peyton comes set, and there he goes. And swinging a miss. They fake the throw down. 1-1 now. So second and third now for the Bombers. Greenwood leading 4-2.
Well, that's where Strozer's got to go ahead and throw that ball. The batter, he swung so hard that it carried him in front of the plate. If he throws that ball and hits the batter, then that runner's out due to interference or obstruction. I get confused on the two. Probably interference.
1-1 now to Dawson Tabor, the Bombers DH. Colton Payton brings it home. That's outside. 2-1. Strozer's got to be a wall. He's going to go out and talk to Colton.
Well, and he's also going to get it. He saw the guy on second base tell his batter, he touched his chest that I've got the sign, and right before he pitched it, he told him a fastball was coming, so they're probably going to change something up as well so the guy on second's not taking signs.
2-1 the count. 4-2 Bulldogs lead. Bombers have something going here with nobody out in the fifth.
Coach telling Austin to hurry up, get loose.
Peyton comes set up top. And that's in there for a strike, swing and a miss. 2-2. Like to see a strikeout here.
Yeah, and if you're mounting home, I mean, that's kind of what you've been doing is leaving runners on. You can't afford to if you're going to get back in this game and put pressure on Greenwood.
Peyton kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. I beg your pardon. It's fouled back to the screen. They'll do it again.
You know, and Coach probably went with Colton Payton, not just because he's a senior and it's senior day and this is his last chance, but he's a change of pace. They've seen Jerica, mid-80s, Carroll, mid-upper 80s. Now you're talking about high 70s, mid-70s. It's a big change of pace and hard to stay back on the slower fastballs.
That's upstairs. The count is full now. There's a base open for him. Nobody out, though. Reese Ducker on deck. And just missed. And it's a walk. So there's bases full of Bombers. Ducker's their first baseman. He's 0 for 2, and Coach Mikado's going to head out to the mound. And we'll see if that's all for Peyton or if he's going to just check on him.
I think it needs to be. I think, he's going to get the ball from him and bring in Mitchell, it looks like, who's been getting loose in the pen. But Greenwood can't afford a big hit here. You got to make sure you're playing your corners in. You go home, then first, roll up a double play. Give up one run to take care of the double play up the middle, but they need 2 outs quickly here.
Austin Mitchell, the freshman, will come in relief. If I recall, he came in over at Van Buren in Game 2 and was fantastic in the raucous environment over there at the Field of Dreams and did a good job of keeping the Pointers at bay.
Yeah, we were very impressed. We thought he might see some more action just because his composure was so good. You would have never guessed he was a freshman. You know, we've talked about it. He's going to be, if you want to compare him, I don't know if he'll reach the point of Landry Jerica, but that's where Landry Jerica started. Ninth grade, he was still one of your pitchers and got the job done. And I think that's where Austin's at and where he'll be in 4 years is possibly be your ace on the staff and be a guy that absolutely brings it.
Right-handed pitcher. He will face Reese Ducker to start this inning.
Man, you say you're only as good as the bottom of your lineup. We've talked about our lineup, how having Morgan down there at the bottom has been a blessing. He does well, and there's not been any automatic outs. Brewer's come along down there. Strozer's come along. And I haven't seen anything from the bottom of Mountain Homes lineup to say that they're going to be have enough firepower to take care of it. So really from here on down, this is where you want to be if you're going to get in a jam.
They've had some base runners down here in this area, but it's been a walk, a hit by pitch, reach on an error, that sort of thing. They haven't generated any hits from this part.
There's nobody that scares you. Physically, the eye test in baseball is huge. You can tell if someone can play or not. You can tell if they have an idea what's going on, and if they have a little moxie. And you just don't see it from the bottom 3 or 4. Now, that don't mean that they can't get it done.
Right.
It just means I like our chances and our odds against a guy that's got an electric fastball with a little movement and a good breaking ball.
So we've got bases loaded. Nobody out here in the top of the fifth. Greenwood leading 4-2. And it's their six-hole batter, Reese Ducker, who's 0 for 2 today. Flied out to right, struck out looking to end the third inning. McKay at third. Walker's running for himself out there at second, and Tabor is at first. No, we've pinch ran for him. That's we'll get the name. Oh, look at you, right? A comebacker to the pitcher. Why not go home? Oh, Mitchell wasn't certain. You go home with that and get the force at home. Tough play for Mitchell.
Well, that's a tailor-made double play.
Yeah, he looked at home.
Yeah, all he's got to do is throw it to Strozier. Strozier throws it to first, and you've got 2 outs.
Oh, boy. Well,
his job, he just overthought it. I don't know what he thought, but he just overthought it, whatever he did.
I mean, surely somebody was yelling 4 all the way. You would have to assume. That's in there for a called strike. Hope that doesn't come back to bite the Bulldogs. Trent Jordan here, their third baseman, looks at strike 1. He's a left-handed bat. Runners at second and third now, and they're at the grass, up on the grass at the corners. Here's Mitchell. That's in there for a called strike. So knowing that he probably blew an easy double play, he comes back with 2 nice pitches, and you'd like to see that from the freshman.
God, that's huge. The mental part of baseball can't be understated, and that's huge to make a mistake like that and still be able to throw strikes.
And got him swinging. Nasty. And there's just 2 outs. They're going to say he caught it and he's out. The runner's going to go ahead and run, assuming a drop third strike, but they're going to say that Strozier scooped it out of the dirt. Coach Carver didn't like it. I'd like for him to go ahead and throw it down there and complete it. I don't think he's going to have any trouble with it, but you don't need to. And here's Logan Ballard.
Well, I thought at first the batter was saying he tipped it. I thought he was pointing to the end of his bat like he had tipped it, and that's what I thought he was asking him for. And, of course, he said no.
So there's 2 outs. Ballard was hit by a pitch, grounded out to first base. And that's in there for a called strike. Wow, as Mitchell settled in after that.
And I'm going to go ahead and place the blame on Strozier and Mercado and any other Morgan, any other whoever's out at second. You got a 9th grader on the mound. You got to make sure he's very aware of where you're going. Hey, if it's hit to you, go 4. Tell him, talk to him, communicate with him. I don't think anyone said anything to him, and he was confused. I think there may have been people yell 1 from their dugout,
Could
4 from ours.
Swing, strike 2.
But the most impressive thing you talked about is he made that mistake, cost a run, and yet he's come back and absolutely owned the zone.
Yep. 1 and 2 now to Ballard. Let's see if he can get out of this thing. Runners at second and third for Mountain Homes. 4-3 now. Swing, and the ball got loose.
Oh, no.
And they're going to say safe, and that's going to score the 4th run. And he's going to be able to get down to first base as the ball carried him away. And you rarely see Strozier let one get loose, but that time it did. Over to third goes.
It must have went off a knee pad because it kicked directly to his left, and he probably felt it hit his knee because he looked straight down. He looked behind him. He looked everywhere but to the left where the ball careened, and now it gave up the tying run. And now you got runners at first and third for 2 outs.
Zantkowski is over at third. He's running for Tabor, the DH. So Ballard got on with a strikeout, but reached on a pass ball. And there's a chopper to third. Nice job for Morgan to glove it. Tried to go to second to no avail. And another run across, an RBI for Isaac House.
Walks. The inning was allowed to continue because from walks, and you hate to say that that's what's going to cost it, but Greenwood kind of shot themselves in the foot that inning.
Yep. Bombers lead now 5-4. We got a ball game. Back to the top of the order we go. And Will Beckham, left-handed bat. This one's in the air. Let's see if Greenwood can get out of this. Weaver on the run. Does he have room? And they both let it die dead in front of each other as Strozier was there. Boy, you talk about the wheels falling off. A strike.
Well, I'd be sitting here with you, and I'd tell you if I was concerned, Mountain Home's pitching still has not showed me anything that should quiet Greenwood's bats. If Greenwood loses this, it's because Greenwood beat themselves, not that Mountain Home beat us, because there's no pitcher they've shown so far that can quiet our bats. You agree?
I agree. Here's the 0-1 from Mitchell. It's a chopper. Adams, took a bad hop and just died on him. Oaf's going to try to bring it home, and Strozier wasn't even ready for it. May have had a nice little bang-bang play there. The runner scores, though, and it's 6-4.
Mercado's going to go calm them down. Here's what happened. That ball was chopping towards second base. Instead of getting in front of it, Harrison was just going to kind of meet it. Well, on about the second chop in the dirt, it stayed low to the ground and kind of picked up speed and got past him. And to me, he could have got in front of it, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. And then Oaf comes up, who's got probably one of the best arms on the team, and threw an absolute strike to Strozier.
Yep.
And Strozier tried to get it standing up instead of breaking down. He's got all his equipment on, and just not all he had to do to me was catch it on that big hop, make the tag, and we're out of the inning.
There, I agree.
And for some reason, I don't know if he didn't see it, if he lost it with the white background back there with the signs.
Could be.
But he acted like he didn't even see it coming.
Well, I think he thought Mitchell was going to cut it, to be honest with you, or whoever was right there.
Kennan?
Yeah.
Or I wonder if Mitchell was even
I
in the
think
way.
it was
You think Mitchell was in the
Yeah,
way?
I think he was standing
So he
there.
probably blocked him from being able to see it.
So it's runners. Beckham went over on the second with his RBI single.
Greenwood down 2 now.
Yeah, 6-4. House is at third. And the ninth batter of the inning is Reed Ellison. He's 0 for 3. This was lifted in the air. Somebody, please, get this third out. Adams is drawing a bead and makes the third out. Holy smokes, what an inning. Finally. They had 2 hits. They scored 4 runs, left 2 men on base. They've left 8 runners. And they've taken a 6-4 lead on Greenwood. There was, for sure, 1 error in the top of the 5th. Bulldogs in a battle now, trying to get the sweep. They're in a hole. 6-4, Mountain Home leads, middle of the 5th inning. We'll take a timeout. It's Greenwood Baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5.
They've got us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 errors. You got 6 errors?
One, two, three.
On Adams, that one you got a hit?
I call that a.
5,
I did.
4, 3,
There should be an error. That'd be the 5th.
and 1.
We are back in Greenwood.
Well, there's getting beat and there's losing, and this is one where I don't feel like Mountain Home is beating us. I feel like it's still the end game for this game will be decided by Greenwood. I think Greenwood, they walk people. They've had some errors. They've had 5 errors.
At least 5.
To Mountain Home's 1. And so to me, it's not that Mountain Home is just bowing up and beating Greenwood. Greenwood's just losing right now.
Yep.
And the good thing about when you're losing, you can also change your fortune around and start winning, but you have to initiate it. And I like our chances, especially with number 20 in the box.
Yeah, here we are at the top of the order, and it's Chance Oaf, who is 0 for 2 today. He's got an RBI, grounded out to the first baseman.
He'll show drag bunt, but I think he did that not as much to drag bunt as to bring that third baseman in and give himself some more room.
And that's inside. 2-0 to Chance Oaf. Greenwood's right fielder, left-handed bat. Logan Walker back to work. And this was lifted to left field. High fly ball. Left fielder dropped it. Never got settled under it. Oaf, a great piece of running. Just stayed on his horse. And he'll be into second. The 2-base error.
Yeah, we talked about a clean game. That guy spun around 3 different times before he got under the ball just to get under it and didn't miss it. It's
the Google Maps error of the game.
Yes, they say they definitely play the road map on that one.
Here's Reed Carroll, who started out pitching for Greenwood. He's walked and grounded out to third. And he's the tying run at the plate. No outs here, bottom of the 5th. 0 for the big lead at second. Walker looks inside. Carroll, same thing. Let's see if they can get a little better jump on this one.
No.
Yeah, the center fielder's going to take charge here. He makes the catch. A clean tag from Oaf. He better get down and boogie, and he's in there safely. Whew, nice arm from center field out there.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected that arm. If he throws that 2 feet to the right, Oaf is toast.
And that's McKay out there. So Oaf's over at third now. Caden Brown will stand in with 1 out, 6-4.
We're in the 5th inning.
Bottom of the 5th. Brown walked, popped out to the second baseman to end the 2nd inning. First pitch swinging. This one's out of play.
But, I like our chances, where we're at in the lineup and stuff, but you're going to have to get some more people on base. You talk about Greenwood having errors. Oaf is a product of an error, but Greenwood still can get him in here.
That one's high, 1-1. Hayden Weaver's out on deck. He took over at third base for Hunter Houston a couple innings ago. He's on deck. Curveball's outside. And Brown has a 2-1 count now. Logan Walker on the bump for the Bombers. Outside, 3-1. Lance Cody is his – Cody Lance, rather. I beg your pardon.
Well, Weaver, we've seen him.
His catcher.
He's been up and down hitting, but he'll put the ball in play. He's not a kid that strikes out a lot, so at least you like your chances.
Brown lifts this one up. Is it going to stay in play? It does not. Just into the netting, and that's a foul ball.
Good hustle by the catcher running into the wall.
Full count.
But, I like Brown gets on base. He walks right here.
Mm-hmm.
You need to steal him first pitch and get him on second base. They haven't shown us anything from the catcher to throw out Brown. Then you've got 2 runners in scoring position, and then your chances greatly increase with Weaver on deck. Put the ball in play hard. Again, when you're not in a clean game, you got to expect bad things to happen both ways.
That's right.
Just put it in play hard and see what happens.
Here's the payoff to Caden Brown. And he dropped it. And he's safe. They're going to throw it down. He missed the tag and didn't throw to first. And Brown's safe. Oh, what another blunder there from the Bombers catcher. Thought he applied the tag after he dropped the third strike. He did not. Didn't want to throw down. I guess worried about the runner at third. And Brown's at first base. There's runners at the corners.
Well, Brown should have taken off as soon as he swung, but
Yep.
he hesitated, and it looked like he kind of took 2 steps towards the pitching mound where the catcher had to run towards him.
Yep.
And we were in no position to see if he tagged him or not, but by everybody's reaction, he did not.
Well, and Coach Carver's not offering any argument from the third base dugout.
He had the best angle out of
Yes,
anybody, so he
agreed.
probably saw that he didn't get tagged. Now you steal him over, and then we're right where we said we were.
Here's Hayden Weaver now, his first chance here in game 2. 6-4, Bulldogs runners at the corners. He squares the bunt. The bunt's down, coming home with it, and that's trouble. They cut him down at home. Oh, that's tough. Oh, so out number 2 is Oaf is cut down at home.
Well, that's not a safety squeeze. That's a straight suicide. And
Yep.
That's what happens. Bunted it straight back to the pitcher, and easy play out by, I didn't even have to get down.
The pitcher pitched that over to the catcher. The catcher fielded it cleanly.
No, the pitcher threw it to the catcher.
1-2, out number 2. Well, now the Bulldogs have to work. Here's Harrison Adams. We're in line for a big inning, and first and second now with 2 outs. Adams swinging a miss. A healthy hack. I'd like to see the aggressive. 2 down.
Again, that wasn't great execution by Greenwood, either the bunt or the base running.
Right. 2 down. Walker gets a deep breath up on the bump, checks again at Brown at second base, and comes home with it. Way outside. Good job from Lance back there to knock it down. 1-1.
And I only say base running, even if it was a suicide, because Oaf should have had a better jump. And I don't know if it caught him off guard or if he was waiting. He thought it was going to be inside, but he was way down the line when he got started.
1-1 now to Harrison Adams. And that hit him in the helmet. And he'll take his base. Harrison with a little glare back out to the pitcher. And here's Aiden Kinnon.
Well, coach is going to stop him and tell him, say, look, it ain't like he did it on purpose.
No.
There's no bad blood whatsoever. It's a wild pitch that got out of control. And it's unfortunate it hit you in the head, but get down here because you're going to score this inning is what he's telling him.
That's exactly
so
right.
you need your focus on base running, not the pitcher.
Bases loaded. Aiden Kinnon to the dish. RBI single in the second. Struck out in the third to end the inning. So he's 1 for 2. Let's see if Kinnon can They're going to bring the
Is that the trainer?
trainer out to talk to Harrison Adams. He was plunked in the helmet. He's good. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Greenwood down 6-4 to Mountain Home. Huge spot here for Kennan. Let's see if he can get a bat on the ball. And he's fouled that one back out of play.
So what game would you call this? If I was saying that this was the dirtiest or just the most unclean game, what kind of game of the week would you call this?
Here's the 0-1. Curveball in there for a called strike. Well, Kennan just watched that one curve right over the top.
Tide Pod.
Well, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Here's the 0-2. Big spot for Kennan. Rips it right back up the box, and it's down. Let's see if we can get home. Here comes Weaver. He'll slide in. 2 RBI. They throw to third. He's safe. And now Kennan's going to try second. He's in there, save. Oh, 2 runs scored. We're tied. Oh, baby. Kennan came in clutch with an 0-2 count.
That was the exact same hit he had last time where he didn't try to do too much. He just threw his hands up the middle, hit the ball right back up the middle. Now, I'll say this. Adams got lucky. The guy that cut that ball fumbled it before he threw over there, and there was still a bang-bang play to make him safe. And then the third baseman couldn't get it out of his hand, or he'd have thrown it to second base and got Kennan. So
Right.
Greenwood's got to clean up that base running going into postseason.
Here's Luke Brewer now. Game tied at 6, and that's outside for ball 1. Little breaking ball. Brewer was hit by a pitch, scored a run in the 2nd, struck out looking to start the 4th. 2nd and 3rd for the Bulldogs junior left fielder, and that's outside. Boy, he wanted to go get that one too. Good eye to stay off of it. 6-6 now.
See, after watching Adams at third, we're just not getting good enough leads at third. We're not getting any momentum going home.
And that's outside. 3-0 to Brewer. Weaver had a base hit.
No, he bunted,
That's right.
but he got safe on the fielder's choice.
That's right. And a called strike on the outside black, 3-0.
Oh, Harrison's got to pay attention. They just almost overthrew the pitcher. He's got his head down on third base instead of looking to move up. It gets past the pitcher. He should have scored.
And Adams got on.
Hit by pitch.
That's right. I haven't, for some reason, not writing stuff down. It plunked off his helmet. Swing and a miss from Brewer. Full count. Payoff pitch. 2 outs for Brewer. 3-2 count. Walker up on top. He'll bring it home at the bottom of the 5th. Way outside. Ball caroms back to the backstop.
Go,
Catcher
Kennan.
can't find it.
Go, Kennan.
Adams
Keep
scores.
going, Kennan.
Kennan's got to run. He's going to round third. Can he get in there? He does, and he saves under the tag. And Kennan scores from second base as the catcher Lance couldn't find it for Mountain Home.
You know, it shouldn't have even been close, but Aiden was jogging to third and then kind of hesitated and then ran. If he's running full speed, these young kids got to, I mean, you don't win championships by loafing. You got to go.
And Brewer with a nice at-bat drew the walk. He'll go to second on the shenanigans.
Coach has seen enough, too.
Yep, Coach Carver comes out, and he's going to pull the pitcher. Greenwood with an 8-6 lead now. They've put 4 across here in a humongous 2-out rally. It has been definitely our Medusa game of the week, as ugly as you can possibly think.
There you go. And you don't want to watch it. It's like, it's the opposite of a train wreck. You just don't want to see it.
Let's take a break while they warm up the new pitcher. It's Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5.
Okay.
Thank you.
.76 pitches through 46 for strike. That pitcher did.
10 seconds unless you want another one.
We'll take it.
We still got 3 hits. Is that what you have us down as?
3, 2, and 1.
We are back here at Greenwood Bulldogs with a 2-out rally in progress. They've put 4 across here in the bottom of the 5th and have retaken the lead 8-6 over Mountain Home. I need to get me a little spotlight.
I'll try to have that fixed by next time.
There you go. Thank you, Kennedy. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits for Greenwood here in game 2.
8 runs off 4 hits. You know, it's just not been a clean game, and I'll paint the picture pretty when it's pretty, and when it's not, you know, I'm a baseball purist where I want to see it played well. I mean, to the point where it's almost it's impossible to play it the way I want it to be. With the base running and everything,
sure.
I've been so. You know, you have to excuse me if it seems sometimes if I'm negative about base running and stuff, but I just think everybody should play it as hard as you can all the time, and always strive to be a student of the game because nobody knows everything about baseball. It's always different.
I agree, and I'm quite. The reason we gel so well is I'm just the opposite. I'm not even close to being athletic. I'm a fat golfer, and I just want to see more runs on our side, ugly or not. Here's Strozier now digging in with a runner in scoring position, Brewer. And that's outside, ball 1. 8-6, Bulldogs have put 4 across. They'd put 4 across in the second as well. Mountain Home took the lead for a moment, 6-4 in the top half. Hopefully this will get the Bulldogs' juices flowing again.
Well, Mitchell did a great job pitching.
Wow, did he? Curveball outside, 2-0. You know, you talk about a tailor-made double play comebacker with the bases loaded and kind of gaffed on that, threw it to first and got the out, but he stayed in there and just peppered the strike zone.
Yes, and that's tough to do mentally.
Yep. 2-0 now to Strozier. Let's see if Dylan can get something going. He doubled his only time up. I beg your pardon, he had a sack bunt earlier. 3-0.
And the only reason I say, you know, the base running, if you play a really good team that doesn't, you know, they've double clutched every throw. If you play a clean playing team, those are all outs.
Yes.
And you can't have those in the playoffs or to win a championship because
exactly
usually
right.
that's the teams that are there, the ones that play clean.
That's exactly right. That's Trent Jordan, the new pitcher, by the way, for Mountain Home, a righty. Strozier waits on it. A righty-righty matchup, 3-0 count. Can Jordan find a strike zone? He cannot, and he walked him. And Bryce Morgan, who's due. RBI fielder's choice, scored a run in the second, grounded out to third base.
You got it? You and I've talked about it plenty of times. We like it when he's in this position because he usually hits the ball. He's been dropping his shoulder and popping some stuff up, but this is where you need him to just lay into something and hit it hard somewhere and keep this rally going.
Tatum Sadler in to run for Strozier, the catcher. Here's Morgan. He's due for a big one. Swing and a miss. That ball caromed away from the catcher. And strike 1.
Well, he had the same thought I did about hitting something hard.
Yep.
He was swinging hard for that. It was just a low outside curveball that he was way out in front of. But we talked about earlier in the year, he was better with 2 strikes. He'd take a couple hacks out of it and then become a great 2-strike hitter.
0-1 to count to the Greenwood shortstop. Bulldogs have got the lead back 8-6. A pitching change for Mountain Home. Here it comes. And that is in there for a called strike. Little front door breaking ball. Runners at first and second. Sadler's running for the catcher, Strozier. Brewer's out at second. Walked and moved up on the gaff by the catcher, and that was low, ball 1.
Who's at first base? That's
What's on
Tatum.
first? Who's on second? Who's on first? That's Sadler.
Sadler's going to have to be careful. He's getting a huge lead.
Yeah.
And that first baseman's about to sneak behind him here in a second. And I think they're changing their calls, too. I was sitting here looking at the monitor trying to see what they were pitching, and that'd be great to pump into the dugout, Astro style.
Way to go. Sweet Moses. That's all we need, some more. The 1-2 now to Morgan.
I'm all for stealing signs just without the use of technology.
And swing and a miss. And the 9th batter to the plate, and that ends the rally. But the Bulldogs got 4 runs across on 2 hits, or was it just 1 in there? I thought 1 hit.
Wow.
They left 2 on base. But the lead is back in Greenwood's favor. Top of the 6th we go. 8-6. Bulldogs lead Mountain Home. Game 2 of a 5A West doubleheader. Greenwood Sports Center Online and the Sports Hog 103.5.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, this look at this. 9 total errors for the game, only 5 hits
Oh, that's horrible.
and 14 runs scored.
Yeah. Set the game back 35 years.
Well, at least 30. Sorry, did I put that out too far?
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2.
We are back here in Greenwood. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, glad to have you aboard here on the Sports Hog 5A West baseball doubleheader. Appreciate you joining us online. Some folks up north at Mountain Home. Hope you're enjoying this ball game. If you're a baseball purist, you're hating it. It's 8-6. Unofficially 9 errors and 5 hits combined. If you heard me in the break, I said it set the game back 35 years.
Yes, it's been ugly. Update on the girls' game. What did they win the second game by? 15-0.
Nice.
Greenwood girls won 15-0.
Yeah, double run rule action for the ladies. There's a shot right to Weaver. Nice job. Gloves a hot shot over to first base. And that was Bryce McKay, first pitch swinging. We've seen Weaver have his issues at third base. That time he hung in there and got down on the ball. No problem across the diamond.
Well, it's hit hard enough. You don't have time to have problems.
Right.
I mean,
it's all or nothing.
Yeah, it's you're committed, and he did a good job staying down and making the play. But you got to be up on the grass as many times as Mountain Home's bunted.
Here's Logan Walker, their pitcher. Dribbler to first. Kennan, nice. Mitchell covering. Well done, gentlemen. Over there, 3-1 on the putout. 2 quick outs on 2 pitches.
Man, that's
Here we
great.
go.
There's no way this batter should swing at this pitch. I mean, did he tell him to take?
Yes.
Because, I mean, you can't have 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, we've talked about Carver, a former Division I SEC player. He knows that for sure. And
Well, you lose all in the momentum. You're down to 4 outs to win this game if you're Mountain Home, and you just put away 2 of them on 1 hard hit and 1 bad swing.
and he swing away. Can we get to it? Morgan with the play. Has time to gather. Across the diamond. Got it! Oh, he lost it. Kennan again couldn't dig it out over there. And almost a steak dinner for Austin Mitchell. Oh, baby. The 3-pitch inning goes awry, and he'll reach on an error.
And I think Mercado would have been completely happy to dial up a little ribeye steak.
Yes. You
for
know his
that
dad
one.
would have cooked it.
Oh, yeah. That was almost – I can't believe that he swung
I
at
can't
that.
either. I have to assume that Carver was telling him to take.
It looked like that's exactly what he told him. But in baseball, you can't have a pitcher have 3 pitches. No, and someone would say, well, I'm a good enough hitter, I'll hit it. Well, you're just 1 catch away from that being an out.
Here's Reese Ducker. Chopper right
4
to Weaver.
pitches.
No problem. That one's across the diamond. Got him. Fantastic. They left a man on base. They've left 9 today, and the Bulldogs make quick work with it. Austin Mitchell, a 4-pitch dandy here in the top of the 6th. We'll just stay right here.
Wow, and that feeling you just felt across the video and radio waves was the air being sucked out of Mountain Home. I mean, they just lost any momentum they could have gotten back right there. And you think now the formality is Greenwood come up, get 3 or 4 hits, score a couple more runs, and then basically start the bus. It's over.
Well, we batted around in the 5th, so we're at the top of the order. Chance O's going to come up and get things going for us.
If you'd have told me that we would have batted around on 2 hits last inning, I'd have said that there's no way, you're crazy. But we did, didn't we?
Oath reached on an error. Then we had a fly. Carroll flied out to center. Then we had a strikeout that was dropped, and Brown reached on no throw. Then Weaver with a fielder's choice, a hit by pitch, a 2 RBI single, a walk, and then a strikeout.
Wow.
Yeah. We've seen it all almost in this game. We haven't seen a triple play. We haven't seen a balk called. We've probably seen a few, but none have been called.
Yes, this chair, this stool.
And it is Trent Jordan back to work for the Bombers.
Well, I like to see Oaf getting another shot. He popped up. I know it was an error, but he knows it wasn't a great hit. This is his last at bat here at Greenwood. Reed right behind him. I'm really glad to see that him, Carroll, and Brown are going to get their last bats on a positive note. No matter what happens, they've got the lead now. There's no pressure. Just go out and have fun, enjoy it. You won't remember it when you're 47 or 48 years old, but go ahead and enjoy it now.
Here's Oaf. Excuse me. He's 0 for 3 today. And the first one's a curveball in there for a called strike.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay. He's been so hot.
Yeah.
Let him have his little down game and then get hot again next week against Alma.
Of course, he's got an RBI. He was going to score a run. He got cut down at home on the suicide squeeze. So he's been productive. Just no hits. And that one's outside. 1-1 now to the Greenwood right fielder.
Their pitchers today have just on a lot of pitches with not a very good strike-to-ball ratio.
Here is Jordan. Ripped this one. Oaf's got it down into shallow right center. And Oaf with a single. There you go, Keith.
Good for him.
And
Good for him.
Great way to end a stellar career here at Greenwood with the final at bat at home, a base hit.
And I can remember my senior year going out into the cages with his dad and Bobby Bureau and taking extra cuts and stuff. And more than the moments and memories you make, it's the friendships you have. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever remember that at bat, but he'll remember these guys he's playing with.
Here's Reed Carroll. He's walked today. He's 0 for 2 here in game 2. Flied out to center and grounded to third, and they throw over, and Oaf's back safely. Now, that would have just ended your hallmark moment if he'd have got picked off.
I wouldn't have let you even announce that. We just assume he's still over there, not even tell the audience that he got thrown out if he got picked.
Here's Carroll. They come home with it, and he plunked him. Well, here we go. That's at least the third batter been plunked. Carroll off with the gear. Oaf over to second. Here comes Caden Brown.
And Carroll knows again. He's Brewer's still getting a feel for baseball, and we saw Harrison's getting he's a younger guy.
Yep.
They both looked at the pitcher. Carroll knew he got hit. He wasn't trying to get hit.
Yeah.
The only time you're supposed to look at that pitcher is if you think it was done on purpose. Then you can give him any kind of look you want.
Right. Here's Caden Brown now, who walked, popped out to second baseman, and then struck out but reached on a fielding gaff. The catcher didn't throw it down to first base. He scored once here in this game.
And where's this double going to be hit? Where's your guess? Mine's down the left field line.
I like right field line. First and second, nobody out. And he squared the bunt. The ball got free. The runners will move up. So that takes away the bunt opportunity. Brown's happy about that.
Good.
0 for 1. He wants to swing. Weaver out on deck. Bulldogs looking to add some insurance here. Up 8-6 in the bottom of the 6th inning. They led most of the way. The Bombers wouldn't go away. Took advantage of some Greenwood gaffes defensively. Took a 6-4 lead. The Bulldogs put a 4 spot on them in the 5th. Took the lead back. And they're hoping to get more right here as that one's in the dirt. 1-1. Good job from Lance back there to block that ball.
Well, playing the doubleheader conference game, you're going to see what a team has pitching-wise. We've seen Mountain Home's best. I'll say it again, not impressed. Greenwood's got probably the best pitching staff there with Van Buren and Greenbrier. Those three separated themselves pitching for me while watching the conference, and that looked like that hit him.
I don't know how it didn't, but Caden Brown with a nice little limbo action. He'll be ready for prom Saturday night if they bring out the limbo stick.
Coach is just going to walk away from that one. He knows. He's like, well, that was going to hit you in the butt. You should have probably taken it, but I'll let you. You being a senior, we'll give you a mulligan.
2-1 to Brown. Second and third for Greenwood. Jordan brings it home. And that's upstairs, and it's a walk, which I had 2-1 on my count, but I guess it was 3-1.
What'd the scoreboard say?
Scoreboard's broke. Here at Titletown, here comes the skipper for Mountain Home. They're going to go to the lefty who is out in left field, Isaac House. I believe is going to get the call to the pitcher's mound.
Someone in the stands is trying to figure out what pattern that little Pac-Man guy out on the scoreboard is doing.
The screensaver?
Yeah, the screensaver.
I have no idea. I think it may be a nuclear missile test code launching deal, like a Whopper.
War Games, the Whopper.
The Whopper,
yes.
The Joshua. Pitching change for the Bombers. We'll step away for a moment as Greenwood leads 8-6. Bases loaded, bottom of the 6th. Nobody out. Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. 30.
I haven't seen a real leather Letterman jacket.
Where at?
That guy, that kid in the dugout, they've got real Letterman jackets. Like the same kind we had.
Well, everybody should. Oh, I see it. I see it, yeah.
You see it?
Good.
Mountain.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
We are back here in Greenwood. The crafty lefty is Isaac House coming in relief for the Bombers. I didn't see if Trent Jordan, who was at third base, I don't know if he went out to left. Let's see if they put him back on third. Yeah, Trent went to left, and their starting pitcher, who was Walker, is at third base. So House will come in and pitch. In the 6th.
So you've got supposed to play Springdale JV tomorrow with JVB. It got canceled because Springdale had to move a game.
Uh-huh.
And then Rogers Heritage, you go to Rogers Heritage Thursday. And, again, you'll pitch some of these guys that don't get to pitch on Tuesday nights and get to see them coming up. You play a varsity JV game at Rogers. And then Friday you go to Gravett for a couple JVB games. Don't know if that's going to happen because the weather is as poor as it's supposed to be. And then next Tuesday, the
April Classic.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some catchy way of putting it. It's Alma. It's Alma. It's going to be the biggest 2 conference games next week just because it's Greenwood Alma. I don't care who else is playing.
Right.
Greenwood's got to go do a nice finale playing at Alma.
Here's Hayden Weaver. The base is juiced for the Bulldogs. No outs. Bottom 6. Swing and a miss for Weaver.
Yeah, and that's not a great swing when you got runners, bases juiced, and you just step into the box.
Yep.
You go and you take your first hack to send it over to the fence.
Yes. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Isaac House. He comes home with it. That's fouled straight back.
Now that was better, especially with the infield in. Right now the infield's playing like they cannot give up another run, so they're not going to turn the double play second to first. They're going to go the old school home to first, and this is where Hayden's got to want to hit and poke it past the infield.
Here, and House will step off. Weaver will dig back in from the right side. 0-2 count. Oaf at third, Carroll at second, Brown at first. Here's a ball chopped foul outside third base. Mr. Ginger wondering if we have a chance to lock up a 2 seed if we can sweep at Alma, and that just only depends on if Russellville gets swept.
Or beat. They
week.
just got to lose one game.
Yeah, lose one game.
Yeah, they lose one game, and it's likely if you haven't seen Russellville play, they're not the Russellville of past. Right. They don't have the pitching they used to have.
And that one bounced in. Nice job from Cody Lance behind the dish to knock that down. We all know how much room's behind home plate to the backstop here in Greenwood. About 45 feet. 1-2 the count to Hayden Weaver, Greenwood's third baseman. Senior night. Be nice to see him get some insurance runs. That's way upstairs. Good eye, 2-2. So Greenwood doesn't really control their own destiny, but they need to just keep winning.
Yeah, if they do what they're supposed to do, it'll take care of itself. Whatever seed they get, they've kind of put themselves in that situation. They're going to be top 4. They sweep today.
Yes. Weaver reached out and helped him a little bit. That was going to be ball 3, but got a piece of it and stayed alive.
And I'm okay with him fouling that pitch off because it may be close enough. You never know in high school if an umpire is going to call that a ball or a strike, so foul it off and get another pitch.
8-6, Bulldogs lead bottom of the 6th. Bases loaded, no outs. Weaver swinging a miss. 1 down. Here's Harrison Adams now, the Greenwood second baseman. Harrison with a double, scored a run. He was hit by a pitch, scored a second run. Flied out to center. Adams, he a 10th grader?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right-handed bat. I knew that, but I wasn't sure. Bases loaded. And here it comes. That's outside. We've got that's Brown over at third, or at first. I thought we had a pinch runner, but then I got to think, why would you pinch run for Caden Brown? Unless you've got Usain Bolt on your team. Ball 1 to Adams. House comes set for Mountain Home. Here it comes. And Adams lifts this one foul, slicing out of play right side. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It looks like your middle. You got 1 out, right?
Yes.
It looks like your middle infield has kind of cut it in half. They're not deep as usually they are in double play depth. It may be that he's going to have them on a hard hit ball, still come home and cut that run down. But to me, just turn to traditional double play.
Right.
You got it right in front of you.
Here's Adams waiting on it from House. That one's off the wrist. Is it going to get in the no man's land? Will it stay fair? It does not. Just outside over there behind first base.
An hour ago, that's in the parking lot.
Yes.
The wind was blowing so heavy.
1-2 now to Adams. Here's a guy that got put in the lineup. I think Harrison's done a great job of making the most of his opportunity. I kind of like a little bit of swagger he's bringing to it, getting better every at-bat for a sophomore. A 1-2 count to Harrison Adams. Here it comes from House. And that plunked him. Hey, we'll take a run any way we can. They just keep drilling Greenwood pitchers. We'll take it. Everybody's moving around.
Well, and we talked about at-bats. That's how important those at-bats are. He's gotten better with every at-bat,
Yep.
and he's gotten stronger with every at-bat. And you need those at-bats to get stronger, and he's definitely been one of those that that's why I keep saying they're like gold. You don't just give them away to kids that you're not going to use to win a championship.
Here's Aiden Kennan. Base is still loaded, and he reached out and swung at one. Not a good offering. Strike one.
Well, he may be our next guy we talk about hitting with 2 strikes because he's had 2 good hits after looking about like that last time.
3 RBI today for Kennan, 2 singles. He's scored twice, struck out once. And that's a curveball that got in there for a called strike, and here you go. If they've watched the Peyton Holt School of Batting, you like the 0-2 count. Tony Sandifer used to do it as well. A couple of Bulldog greats. Here's Kennan now, 0-2. Lifts this one foul out of play right side over the Greenwood dugout into the parking lot. They'll reset and do it again. Carroll's at third. Brown's at second. Adams at first. Hit by pitch, walk, hit by pitch. Kennan with an 0-2 count. That's way upstairs. Back to the backstop. Carroll will come in and score, no problem. Runners move up. 10-6 now, Bulldogs lead.
Just like we drew it up, except we really drew up a few more hits than what we've gotten.
Yeah, I mean, you play the cards you're dealt, I guess.
How many hits do we have this inning?
1. Oaf with a single. That's 5 hits for the game, I believe.
Golly.
Kennan stands in. Infield all comes in now at second and third. The Bulldogs up 10-6. Here it comes from House. Upstairs. 2-2 now to Aiden Kennan. Luke Brewer on deck. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Six more runs for a run rule.
We'll take them.
Here's Kennan. Swing and a miss. Oh, just got a piece of it and tipped it back to the backstop. 2-2 still. Isaac House on in relief, third pitcher for the Bombers here in game 2. Greenwood won game 1, 11-1. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. High heat. So there's 2 down. Both outs have been strikeouts. And Luke Brewer, Greenwood's last chance here in the 6th. Hit by a pitch, scored a run, struck out looking, and walked. Stranded out at second base in the last inning. And here's Brewer, a junior. Chance for a couple insurance runs here. And that's upstairs. Good job of Lance to flag that one down.
And that catcher gets a gold star. He's been put through it today.
Yeah. Had his struggles early. Couldn't keep it in the mitt in game 1. But he's definitely kept the Bulldogs off the board a few times like we just saw there. Climbing the ladder on a ball way upstairs. Brown's at third. Adams at second. Brewer at the plate in a 1-ball count with 2 outs here, bottom of the 6th. 10-6, Greenwood leads Mountain Home.
16 runs on 6 hits and 10 errors.
Here's House. And that's called strike on the outside black to Luke Brewer. He didn't like it.
Now, Paul knows that's the one he misses. That's the one we told him about.
It's getting chilly out there. 8:42. Here's Brewer waiting on the 1-1 from House. He brings it the lefty upstairs, 2-1.
He's been missing a lot high. I mean, even his curveball's been missing high. That was a fastball, but he's struggling for finishing out in front and leaving everything at every batter's either chest or waist.
See if Brewer can square one up. The 2-1, hitters count. Here it comes. And that's upstairs, 3-1. What do you do here, Keith? He said trouble finding the strike zone.
Well, if this were a wounded horse, you'd already put it out of his misery. But because we got to finish the game, I mean, you swing at it if it's in the zone. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, here it is. And inside a little high, and he walked him to reload the bases. And here comes Dylan Strozier.
I mean, this is just the amount of walks, the amount of errors. I wish somebody would just take control. You know, Greenwood's had their opportunities. 2 strikeouts today with runners in scoring position against a pitcher that is not overpowering, got a decent curveball. But, it's all things that going towards the end of the season we've gotten better at and we'll continue to get better at. We better get ready for that slow lefty next week at Elma.
Here comes Reed Ellison, their shortstop. He's going to come in and pitch in relief for the Bombers. House will head back to left field. And that will bring I'll find him in a second. Walker short to third. Logan was their other pitcher that came in, Trent Jordan. So they're shuffling them around. A new pitcher for the Bombers. Greenwood with 2 across here in the 6th. There's 2 outs, bases loaded. Strozier is in the on-deck circle. He had a sac bunt, a double, and a walk. And looking for some insurance runs. It's 10-6. Luckily, we run ruled the first game. This game may never end. We'll call it the Medusa game. Ugly. You don't want to look at it. Just a scoreboard. Don't even read the article tomorrow. Leland Barclay's here.
It might be an omen that the scoreboard was out because you'd look up there and people driving by wouldn't believe it. They'd be like, wait a sec. It says 6 runs, 2 hits, 3 errors on the top line. Then the bottom line says 10 runs on 4 hits with 7 errors. They're going to be like, no, that can't be. Can't be true. Something's wrong with the scoreboard. So that's why the scoreboard's not working today.
Man, I sure wish it would have worked and it'd be like 2-0 Greenwood with a 2-hitter.
Yes.
Here's Dylan Strozier as Ellison is ready. And the scoreboard just comes on.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's some divine intervention from Brother Ronnie Deal. Please don't put the digits up there. maybe put the runs on the scoreboard.
No, if you put runs, I want to see errors up there too.
Strozier looks at the first one, a called strike from Reed Ellison. 4th pitcher tonight, or for the Bombers here in Game 2. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Ellison's a right-handed pitcher. Here it comes. Strozier chops that one foul into the dugout, near the dugout, third base side, and he's in a hole 0-2.
At least he's seen pitches to hit. We've had 3/4 of our batters walk up there and either walk or get hit by a pitch and not even see a pitch to hit. And that's how we're going to get better and go into Elma and postseason is by hitting the ball. Mm-hmm. And we can't hit if people won't throw us strikes.
0-2 to Strozier. And Ellison up on top. He'll come home with it. Curveball stayed way upstairs. 1-2. Reed Ellison, a right-handed pitcher. Big lead for the Bulldogs on the base pass. Obviously no one getting held on. with 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 to Greenwood's catcher. And he rips this one to center field. The center fielder on his horse, and he will make the catch in right center. Strozier gave a little bit of a ride, but to no avail. The Bulldogs scored 2 runs on 1 hit. They left the bases loaded here in the 6th. 3 outs away from a sweep of the Mountain Home Bombers. And one more timeout for us on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5.
All right.
Well, we're up 4 runs. Surely we won't have extra innings, Jessica. Yeah, right.
10 seconds. That should be 4.
2 hits for the visitors, 3 errors for the visitors.
We are back here in Greenwood. Top of the 7th we go. And the Bulldogs lead the Bombers 10-6. As brother Ronnie Dill, almost demonic for him to put all the crooked numbers up. 7 errors for Greenwood as the scoreboard comes to life. But I like the crooked number. The double digit down at the bottom is 10-6.
That's the only one that matters. The only one that
It is.
when you go to bed tonight you'll feel good about is, Greenwood's in control of their own destiny. They're looking at a 1 seed, a tie for the 2 seed, which the tiebreaker would go to Russellville since they swept. So it'd give us essentially a 3 seed, which you want anyway and need for us to be able to.
Or the 4. I don't think the 1 seed. We're not looking for the 1 seed at all. Les Van Buren.
I think the 3 seed is just it's more conducive. If not, you'll end up playing probably a Jonesboro or somebody from the South, which would be
We'll match up with the South first round.
Okay.
Normally it's same as basketball. And that's who we matched up with in basketball was the South.
Marion, are they?
No, that's the East.
Okay.
The South, you're talking about all the Hot Springs people, El Dorado. Yeah. Lakeside, Lake Hamilton, the likes. Here's Mitchell back to work in the top of the 7th inning. He'll face Trent Jordan. And the first one's high for a ball. Jordan walked, grounded out to third, struck out. He's 0 for 2. Mitchell reared back and called strike on the inside black. The freshman up on the bump. Right-hander. Trying to work fast. Jordan took a minute to get in the box, slow him down a bit. That's outside. 2-1.
I think you'll have to have him. I think, we talk about, of course, the Jerica. That's a given. Reed Carroll. And then after that, with Ofout, I'll let you call this.
Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Is Austin Mitchell and Aiden Kennan. And then the wild card is Hunter Houston.
Yeah.
Colton Payton's been doing middle relief. He's going to have to do better than he did today. He's going to have to throw strikes.
Had one error. Of course, it was his throwing error over there that allowed a runner, but that would have helped the cause a little bit, keeping the guy off the base path. Full count. Chopper. Oh, nice job from Mitchell diving, but then he couldn't get the ball out of his glove in the exchange. Oh, tough break for the freshman pitcher.
Man, and you tell a pitcher not to leave his feet so something like that doesn't happen.
Yes.
But you don't know if Harrison's going to get to
No,
that.
I don't think he would have. Not in time.
The other one we talk about is Monday. We just don't know if he's going to be back or when.
Yeah, right.
You think he's going to go, oh, my gosh, we throw it away on a pickoff, and he's going to make it to second.
And that's Elliott's over at first base now, and Mitchell with back-to-back blunders, if you will. The runner moves up. This is the 7-hole here.
You're going to ask yourself, why even picked? You got a 4-run lead. You're in the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Focus on the batter and get the outs.
Yeah, and now the double play's out of order.
Yes.
Strozer's going to come tell him that exact same thing.
And it's a learning moment, 9th grader.
Yeah.
But, back to Monday, Monday pitching, you just don't know.
Yeah.
He got roughed up a little bit at Fayetteville, bad first inning. Of course, nothing was right there, so
yeah,
you're going to get better out of him. And how quickly can he come back? If he comes back for Alma, he hasn't been able to do anything, throw any bullpens or hit. So you'd think by the next week, by the time that postseason gets playing, you're definitely going to have his bat regardless. I don't care if he doesn't take a swing from now to then. You got to have his bat in the lineup. But pitching-wise, I don't think he factors into the equation as far as top 4 or 5. I think you got to keep him at first base and let him hit.
10-6, Greenwood leads here, needing 3 outs. Mountain Home, even with a long road trip ahead, they're trying to battle to the end. I don't blame them. There's a ball to Logan Ballard. He is their second baseman. And batting in the 8 hole. Mitchell from the stretch peeks over to second, now comes home with it. That's outside and low, 2-0.
Seeing something Mitchell did when he didn't make that play, he slammed his glove on the ground. That's something you don't see a Drika do. Drika made his error. He didn't drop his head or anything. He asked for the ball. He went back to the mound and pitched. That's something as a young baseball player you have to do, is not show any emotion, because that fires up the other dugout and lets them know that they're in your head.
Here's a 2-0. Fastball in there for a called strike. Good pitch. Right up under the hands of Ballard. Nothing he could do about it. 2-1 the count. Top of the 7th. Bulldogs need 3 outs. 10-6 lead. And that hit him. Just caught a part of the jersey. And that puts the 7 and 8 batters on. And here's Isaac House. And Mikado's going to go out and try to calm down the freshman.
And he's swiping at the ball when Strozer throws him the ball. He's obviously flustered about him. He did a great last inning, 4 pitches.
Yes.
Should have had 3 pitches, 3 outs.
Yep.
Had 4 pitches, 3 outs, and then comes out here, knew he had 2 pitches, had an out, and then he just lost grip of the ball, and it frustrated him. And we haven't seen the same Mitchell since.
Yep.
And Mercado is just going to tell him to calm down here, not to worry about anything. You have a 4-run lead. And if you work on one batter at a time, get a ground ball here, you're okay. You're gold.
Coach using all the times. Home plate blue will ease out.
And it looks like he's sending down number 4, number 25 went down there. I don't know who those guys are.
I'm not sure who he's got getting loose between the two.
Who's number 25? So bring Landry in for an inning.
Yeah, he's got plenty of gas in the tank. Well, here's Isaac House.
It's still, I'd say that's tough to throw 76 pitches and then sit out for 2 hours and then come back and pitch an inning. That's tough on the arm.
Called strike to House, who's back out in left field. Pitched for a minute. Up on the grass at the corners. First and second for the Bombers. Righty. Mitchell reared back. Here's a chopper to Weaver. Gloves it. Goes to second for 1. Across to first. And not in time. They got 1 out, and there's runners at the corners.
Yeah, that's the play where Harrison should have faked the throw to first and backdoor the runner at third, made a big turn at third. You're not going to get that runner because Weaver had to charge it, and then you probably got the runner overrunning the bag at third base.
1 down for Greenwood. Top of the order now for the Bombers. It's Will Beckham. Beckham walked, was hit by a pitch, reached on an error, RBI single. Impossible out here in game 2. Mitchell will come home with it. And just missed upstairs, ball 1.
Oh.
Double plays in order. Bulldogs can get out of this, need 2 outs. Leading 10-6. Mitchell from up top brings it home. That's in there for a called strike.
I'm just waiting for down 4, waiting for Mountain Home to bunt it.
Well,
I mean,
it's not
they were down
beyond the
2
realm.
last. Yeah,
Yep.
they were down 2 last game and trying to bunt for 1 run, down 2.
Swing and a tip foul to the backstop. 1-2 now. Mitchell settled in here, rearing back and just throwing heaters.
Whatever Coach Winton said to him calmed him down. He's not doing the thing with his glove. You can
Right.
see he's taking his deep breaths. So he'll only get better with every outing because he is a freshman.
Left-handed bat digs in for Mountain Home. Top of the 7th, Bombers needing a rally. That's in there for a called strike. And he got him looking. What a pitch from Mitchell.
Boy,
Gas on the
just enough
outside
run. It had just enough run where it painted that outside corner. Batter thought it was going to stay out, and it stayed right on that corner.
Here's Reed Ellison. He's their pitcher right now. Finished the bottom of the 6th. He's 0 for 4. 3 ground outs and a pop out. and 1 out. He's the last chance for the Bombers, and the first one's just high, ball 1. Top of the 7th.
That's where you like it in the zone. You like that to get that
I love a
strike.
high strike. Yeah, runners at the corners for Mountain Home. Mitchell peers into Strozier. Here it comes. That's inside. 2-0.
And you think, I know they need 4 runs, but they're not going to do anything to get that runner at first thrown out and end the game with a thrown out runner.
Yes. Right.
So you imagine he's just going to stay still and try to play one batter at a time.
Here's a 2-0. Called strike inside Black to Reed Ellison. Bryce McKay out on deck. He'd like an opportunity. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ellison. Here it comes from Mitchell. This one's in the air to center. Brown's on his horse, and he's got it measured. And that'll do it. The Bulldogs are going to sweep the Bombers here on senior night. And the final conference home game for these seniors is a victory. Hard-fought, ugly game. The Medusa game. You didn't want to look at it. But the Bulldogs win 10-6. And hang in there in the conference standings. Puts them in a good spot for a 3 seed. A lot of stuff left to go. You look at Van Buren in control for the 1 seed. Greenbrier didn't play tonight. Their game at Alma was canceled due to this inclement weather we're experiencing. So they're going to stay at 6-4. The Bulldogs now 8-4 in conference. And Russellville, probably got the sweep. They are going to be 8-4 as well in conference.
Well, and what you want to see from Greenwood is go to Alma and maintain focus.
Yep.
By the time we get there, Alma's going to be at the cellar. They're going to be at the bottom. They're going to be fighting for their lives. I think they'll mathematically be out of it.
Yes,
but
they already are.
But, that's still more reason for Alma to want to beat Greenwood.
Certainly.
So they're going to be punted. You're going to get their best games of the year. What Greenwood has to do is focus and go ahead and make that their most important game so far is against Alma Tuesday. Take care of business, get the sweep, and then whatever happens, happens.
Certainly. Well, a good night for the Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs. Softball with a nice couple of run rule sweeps of the Mountain Home Lady Bombers, and the Bulldogs take care of business here at home, get the sweep, stay in contention, have now clinched a playoff spot, just a matter of seeding. And then, of course, unfortunately, that Alma-Greenbrier game will have to be made up at some point, and that thing's going to loom big. You think Greenbrier probably will get the sweep over Alma, who's in the bottom, but you never know about those Airedales, and we'll see it firsthand for sure Tuesday when we go over there for the conference finale of the regular season. Keith, awesome time tonight.
Man, enjoyed it.
It was fun. We got to see a couple of wins. That's what we like here, and tip our hat to these seniors who go out with their career here at Greenwood Baseball Field with a conference sweep of Mountain Home. Well, we'll have softball for you, weather permitting, Friday, as I will travel with the girls down to Benton, Arkansas, as they're going to take on the Lady Panthers and get a little look of the field down there. Hopefully they can go back there in mid-May where the state championships will be held.
And Benton's ranked number 1 right now. Greenwood's number 2, right?
I think so, in softball.
Yes.
So it should be a fight. It'll be over on our sister station, 96.7, The Marshall, at 12:30 a.m. So tune in. Keep an eye out on local social medias, the Greenwood Dog Pound, etc., as the weather might cancel that ball game, but we'll let you know as soon as we find out. But hopefully some softball, 5 o'clock first pitch Friday down in Benton. So appreciate everybody tonight tuning in. Thanks to all of our sponsors down the line. And we will see you guys for sure next Tuesday for Greenwood Baseball, the conference finale over at Alma, and a doubleheader there. Thanks to Mr. Ferris and Miss Jessica for making us sound so good back at the station. Thanks to Sean and Kennedy Holland for keeping the live stream going. And thank you, Mr. Holt, for fantastic analysis tonight.
Boom.
I'm Tim Terry saying so long from Greenwood. Bulldogs sweep the Mountain Home Bombers and stay alive in the race for the second place in the 5A West. This has been Greenwood Baseball on Greenwood Sports Center Online, and your home for local sports in the River Valley, the sports leader, the Sports Hog 103.5.